Yeah. Is it still there?
Nope.
All right,
Was that you?
That was me. Yeah, I clicked.
You even screwing it up from the other side?
Oh, come on.
Come on, dude. Come on, dude.
This is a
Be
weird.
a professional. Be a professional.
All right,
Be a professional.
Okay. Let's check all the boxes first. Before we go into anything, you can hear me, I can hear you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Right.
JFig, can you hear us? You know what? Just send out a smoke signal of some sort. We'll be able to receive that.
Yes, she can hear.
Perfect. Vlad, you're looking great today. You're looking great in this beautiful studio. Can you hear us?
I can hear.
All right. Now that everyone can hear, we're all lined up. Let's get to what we're supposed to get to.
Hey. Wow. He looked like Billy Ho out there. It looked pretty. Wow. It looked pretty. Hey, Vlad, how pretty did that jumper look?
It looked like something he should be doing on a more consistent basis.
Wait.
Yo, Leroy, you know what bothered me? I know you've been saying it, but when he released it and it was like, man, I just hit that. Like, I just hit a game. Yeah. It was as if the minute he released it, he was like, that's going in. And I'm like, wow, this first time I've ever seen him with so much confidence taking a 3-point shot.
Yeah, he just walked
that was crazy.
Walked right into it. He looked like Steph, right? But I got to tell you, even with all that, can anybody shoot the three like dunks?
Oh, oh my God.
Hey,
stuff.
There's and you know what's funny about this? He is the quickest guy to get to 1,000 threes in the history of the NBA. Now, I know it's a little bit different now, whatever, and guys shoot it at a different clip. But do people not realize that dude sat the bench for half a year? Do we not realize he was included in every trade possible because we thought he was a bum and couldn't shoot no more?
Yep.
Do we not realize that this is the same guy who some accused of having fat cat syndrome? A guy who has gotten to 1,000 threes quicker than any other player in NBA history.
Preach.
So what do you do when you go from fat cat and then you're back to your normal regular?
Maybe, wait. It's basketball, Vlad. Guys go through that. Some guys are afforded the luxury of getting through it, and those role players are not afforded those luxuries. So is it fat cat syndrome or just hit a bit of a slump like all shooters do? Nobody say nothing when Steph go 1 for 17.
Oh, I mean,
But okay, he got to 1,000 quicker than Steph. So you understand what I'm saying? There's luxuries that certain players get that others don't. And you know what? Kudos to him. Kudos to him because, we all watch enough sports to know situations like that bury players. Look at all these quarterbacks. Look at all these quarterbacks in the NFL that hit that rut and they coach folded up shop on them. Right? Where they at now with other teams? You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Sports is crazy, man. Some guys get the luxury of the patience of being able to get through their struggles, and other guys are dismissed as we can find another one of you. And that's kind of what they did with dunks.
So is it safe to say Dunk for the almost a year now? Dunk's probably been the most improved and best player on the Heat. Like, really?
Yo, he has my
the Heat. What about the league?
No, forget I'm just talking about if you took one from the playoffs of last year.
Yes.
Till now.
Yes.
Like you said, this is a total 180 from what he was on the bench.
What he has done with his bag, you see that underneath the assist Jaime?
Yep.
Right? Like, everybody just treats him as a spot-up shooter. But if you watch dunks, his defense is picked up.
Yep.
So I'm willing to say this. The Heat can't win without dunks.
Wow.
For this reason. He's the only consistent three-point shooter. And so if dunks ain't hot and you just thinking somebody else going to pick up that slack, that has not been an accurate assessment. If dunks is a threat and dunks make a couple of threes early, and they start paying attention to dunks, Bam can eat. Everybody can get into the paint. It's a different basketball team. Now, I get it. We all talk about Jimmy. Jimmy's the star, of course. I get that. But can Jimmy eat in the paint if dunks ain't making a three? Because keep in mind, we are a small team.
Yeah.
So when you play, the only way you can play amongst them trees is to stretch them out a little bit.
Yep. These headlines are brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know truck. You know what I got in my flatbed?
The black truck.
Yeah. What you got?
You know what I got in that black truck?
What's that back there?
Pizza! I got pizza!
Oh, yes. You can use Leroy. Hey, you can use my code, bro.
I know. That's
have a
why I
code?
built up the flatbed.
Yeah, man. You can use my code too, actually, you know.
Hey,
50%
you know what's messed up?
What?
Mel left and went out, and she went to visit a friend or whatever. She came back, brought back a couple of pizzas.
Oh, no.
She paid full price.
Yeah, because it was yesterday.
Oh, come on.
I'm like, I said,
Wait a minute. Time out.
no, yesterday.
They won
yesterday.
Friday. They won
Yeah.
Friday.
So I said,
no,
hey,
but I'm saying they could have used it for Saturday. I thought yesterday.
No.
Literally,
No,
she
you
paid
guys-
the only day you couldn't have the pizza.
yeah, hey. So I said, hey, why you get pizza and you ain't use no code?
You gotta use the code. Use the code.
She don't know. She has no idea. I say we tried to keep our people informed when they can use Marco's code,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they can go ahead on and take advantage of that. Everybody
use
like pizza. I still ate it.
Oh, of course. I mean, pizza waste, man.
Hey, but guess what?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, Vlad. Half off pizza tastes a lot better
Oh,
than full price pizza.
of course.
So much better. Literally so much
Yeah,
better.
it's literally so much better.
Leroy, I'm not sure if you had a chance to hear both calls yesterday, but they both were electric.
I watched it live. And
So
I watched him walk into that three, and I yelled, "Oh, what?"
Oh,
looked
you
so
called
good.
it before it went
I
in?
called it, dude.
Yeah.
Look, how pretty did that three look?
It
I
looked
mean, it looked amazing.
It really
And
did.
then I got mad. You know why?
Of course,
I got mad.
everybody did. Everybody did.
I need at least 2 a game from him. I need him to do the
Look,
Jimmy.
that's the third game in a row that he's nailed one. At this point, if you don't give it to us, you're literally just like you're hindering us.
But remember when he first, like, everybody has said he can shoot the three.
Yep.
Right? And here's the kicker. He takes a lot of guys off the dribble. So why can't he start out there every now and then on the point? Right?
Yep.
If they play off of him, like he gonna go ahead on to take it. Go ahead on to take it.
Absolutely.
I know Spo's been telling him.
I think Spo's the one who's been holding him back.
Hey,
I think
All right, relax. You know what's
relax.
wrong with you, Marco?
Spoo's,
I'm sorry, Spoo. Look at you.
Spo is the type of guy to say, you know what? No, those aren't high level shots that you're taking. You know, he wants to go against the rest of the NBA. He sees the rest of the NBA doing something. He just wants to be different. As a guy who's an Android, I can respect it, Spoo. But I think it's time for you to allow your players to shoot the 3-point. Jimmy Butler, clearly a good 3-point shooter. Bam Adebayo, just let him free.
Can I just say something? If Thomas Bryant is shooting a three,
oh, okay.
Like Bam better be shooting. You better be shooting both threes of Thomas Bryant. I'm gonna be mad.
Dwayne Dedman was launching threes more than
But
Bam.
here's the kicker. Everybody assumes when you shoot the three, it's that corner three. And I heard the interview where Spo was telling Bam that his best 3-point opportunity is going to come at the top of the key because they're going to sag.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just ironic that that's what Spo said. And he walked into that. Oh, my. Dude, can I just tell you? I almost went to bed and had happy time. I was so excited.
Woo!
Like,
Leroy.
Wow, Leroy, you need a cigarette?
Leroy.
yeah, I needed a cigarette. Hey, I put on my smoking hat, got me a scotch. I'm like,
Kicking his feet up.
What you celebrate? That three looks so pretty. That three looks so pretty. That three. Can I just, and this is gonna be my game bump, but I'm gonna give y'all a little taste.
All right.
I was watching the hockey game because I had sports. See,
Ooh.
golf you can go back and forth. You don't need to just focus on it. So I'm watching golf, I'm watching basketball, I'm watching hockey. Right?
Good sports weekend.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Game ops for the Florida Panthers.
Uh-oh.
You can't play Peppers when you down 4-0.
They play Peppers?
They play Peppers.
That's bad game ops for sure.
Bad game ops. You don't know what that means in South Florida.
But they did come back to make it 4-3.
No. I don't know when they played it, but they was losing. You don't play that's not a loser song.
That's the closeout song.
That's the closeout song. That's the song you play when you up 4-0 in the third period. Don't play it in the second period. Don't play it in the second period. You play that at the third period where all the fans who have enjoyed an excellent game, they played it towards the last minutes. Yeah. Okay, even worse.
Listen, first of all, let me someone else that deserves to be scolded. Gameboy 305, don't scold me because I have an Android phone. This is one of the things I was going to wait to present to you, how amazing of a person I am. But to all you iPhone users that are constantly being,
you're the reason why our chat is screwed up.
Exactly. You see exactly one of those haters that complain about chats or the color of my bubble. I just want to present to you my amazing, beautiful. Oh yes, that's right. Samsung Fold, and this is not an ad. I don't want you to think this is something that I get compensated for.
Can I just tell you?
Amazing, crisp photos I get. Oh wait, let me continue on my home screen there. Oh yeah, that just happened. But yeah, enjoy your blue bubbles, losers.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Yeah,
take it from experience.
Yep.
With two people who had the little flip.
See, a little flip.
Hold on.
Little flip.
Hold on.
Is little flips.
Hold on. Be careful with that crease.
No.
Be careful with that crease. You up, opening, closing, and all that stuff. I'm telling you. Be careful with that crease.
Marcos is that 1 out of 5. You ever know that when they tell you 4 out of 5?
Yeah.
Approve this, right? And then
he's the 1 out of 5.
He's the one. Nobody ever questions that one. Why he wasn't the one?
He's the 1 out of 5 that think double mint gum don't freshen your breath.
Right. But nobody ever questions that one though. You don't know if that one has a point. Like, remember, there's 5 of them. So he had all the accolades, but he's the only one that chose to go the other way. I mean, that is you, Marcos.
Have you really examined double mint gum though? If we really think about it, maybe that one guy had a point.
Maybe.
When we come back, we're gonna hear the calls, how they air on TV, on radio. We'll talk more about that. Leroy, we got Brady Hawk at the end of this hour. Brady Hawk, he's known for his breakdowns of the Miami Heat. If anyone knows basketball the way we think Baldy knows football, it's Brady Hawk with the Miami Heat. We'll get to that and more when we come back right here on the Spring Break edition of the Tobin and Leroy Show. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy Show, Spring Break Edition. Leroy,
what's up? What's up?
is your family in Paris?
Not yet.
Right.
They leave Wednesday.
Nice. Spring break. I can tell it's spring break by my drive to the
time out.
station.
Leroy, you gonna have the crib all to yourself?
Oh yeah,
No,
he's
it's me, it's me, Fonz, and Mima.
Yeah.
Oh,
But there's a big vacancy in his heart, you know. Big Spoon's
gone.
Teaspoon.
Yeah,
you know.
Big Spoon gone. She gone. They going for 11 days.
11 days.
Yeah.
Can I say that? Okay, I worked on a cruise line. Mentioned this multiple times. We used to do week-long cruises, so I would see people back to back for months at a time. By day 7, every single one of those people wanted off the boat, and this is luxury. This is
there's boats now where like older people stay on for like 6 months.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've definitely seen that. But look, I don't want to get too much off topic. We got Brady Hawk coming with us at 10:35. So I want to hear how the call sounded yesterday. We were talking about Miami Heat's victory over the Pistons. They swept the Pistons this weekend, 2 games in 3 days. But this last one was almost a collapse of some sort. Third quarter, they were up by as much as 17. Towards the end of the game, it was a tie right until Bam Adebayo hit this shot. This is a 3-point, how it sounded on the Miami Heat radio network right here, 560 WQAM. This is Jason Jackson on the
Oh, boy.
Rose has it. Out to Bam for 3 for the win. It's ball game. Bam Adebayo for the first time in his career. 3 consecutive made threes. And it's a game winner. 2 words for you, baby.
Play is under review for a last-second field goal.
After those words, hot, bam.
Okay, I love the call.
Hey, is that a mood killer?
Yo, that rap. Yo, minus one to that rap.
Wait,
dude.
do you start looking? You looking at the replay, looking at his hand when you never thought there was a question.
Right. I was like, okay, dude, we could have waited, effects guy. We could have potentially waited for my boy to get the call off. So minus one to that ref, but still an amazing call there by Jason Jackson. And another amazing call if you were watching it on TV, had opportunity to watch it on Bally. I was about to say Sun Sports. That's how long, been watching.
Like what, 2 years?
I can't remember. It's been so long. This is how it sounded. Eric Reed on the call. Vlad, let me hear it.
Tie game at 101. 4 seconds. 3. Get it off. Bam for 3. Yes! Bam wins the game with a 3.
That just listen.
Motor City.
As wrong as it sounds so right. Right?
Absolutely.
Oh, Bam with a 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just sounds great because when he said it, you hear the buzzer goes off and you hear it's good. Like, you know what I mean? That's it. There's no doubt about it. He just hit a game winner. That's it.
It wasn't one of them backboarders. It wasn't them ones that bounce around. It didn't touch anything.
And
it looks so pretty.
His form was
nice arch. Oh my!
Follow through too. It was like you knew it.
Wait. He should have held it, right? That's when you know you hold it.
Held it a little
He should have held it.
But you get excited. You know what I mean? You get a game winner, you get excited.
Yeah.
He almost turned around and did the Steph. Because he looked. Oh.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about more of that, more of yesterday's game, what that means. Miami Heat were on a losing streak. They found themselves 2 easy wins to go ahead.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Detroit plays with a lot of energy.
Yeah.
They got a lot of guys who can move. They just make a lot of boneheaded plays. But at some point, they're going to be good.
So I got to apologize to one Monty Williams because I thought he was just stealing money. And in the beginning, it seemed like that. But you know what? They play hard every day. They play hard every day.
Dude, you wouldn't know that team only got 11 wins. And it's just because they're young, they throw the ball away, they make a lot of boneheaded plays, and when they start clearing that stuff up, they're gonna be. I mean, because they got some athletes. I mean, I've seen it's like 1 through 4 can take you off the dribble and get to the rim.
Ivy, Durant, Cunningham is
Yes.
a good player.
Right. Right. You know what's cool though? Seeing Bam guard Cunningham. Like that's when you know you got a defender on your hands.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about Bam, Duncan, and everything from yesterday's game when we come back with Brady Hawk. Welcome all back to a spring break edition of the Tobin and Leroy show. Our boy Tobin getting some much deserved rest on this break.
He ain't getting no rest. His kids at home.
That's true. That is true. That is definitely true. Again, I told you spring break, you can tell,
dude,
light traffic. Loved it.
He is raising a bad sports kid.
Yeah, apparently from what
he sent us a text that said, Tommy is giving this ref the business.
Yeah.
That's the proud moment he had during that game.
Pee-wee sports, man. If you're already fighting the ref, that's a Tobin right there.
Yeah.
Let's head on over to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop hundreds of Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. We have a chance now to talk to the guy when it comes to breaking down the Miami Heat. He is a lead Miami Heat writer for 5 Reasons Sports. You can follow him on his social media to get these breakdowns he does on a nightly basis for the Miami Heat. That is at Brady Hawk 305. Mr. Hawk, how the heck are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, yesterday's win, it was just a Pistons team, a game that we definitely should have handled easily based off of how they've been performing recently. But, coming off of a 4-game losing streak, both of these games that we were able to pick up, just how much did that mean for the Miami Heat? Are we out of the woods? Was that something we shouldn't worry about? Or is it just these were the Pistons? Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I mean, they needed it for the standings no matter what. Like, no matter how you got it, you needed it. I don't think you wanted to see the inconsistency that you saw in that last game where you're up 17 and all of a sudden it's a tie game. But
no.
Bam saved the conversation from that game, because if that game goes to overtime, no matter win or loss, like, we're probably having a different discussion about that game. So big credit to Bam for saving the conversation around it. But no doubt, like, they do not want to be in the play-in. I think we all know that. Like, they want to get to that 6 as like at least want to get to that 6 spot. So games like the Pistons, you have to take advantage of. And they've done that this season. Like, it's not something that we're used to talking about with the Heat. Like, usually they struggle with the bad teams and they beat the good teams. And it's almost the opposite this year. It's like they've taken advantage of most of the bad team except that Washington game. But they need it for the standings. And there was some decent storylines out of that game. And it's always funny to me, like, when Jimmy's out, like, they always seem to click at a certain level. Like, it's always somebody that pops. Yesterday was Duncan and a little bit of Bam, but, like, they always need those type of games.
Brady, my question is this. Like, you see this team and you see individually they have a lot of talent. But collectively, it always seems like when everybody's healthy, a lot of that talent gets lost. And and it almost seems like when they have a limited bench, they play better because everybody knows what their role is. Everybody knows they have to pick up the slack. What do you do when everybody's healthy? Because that's when it seems like they struggle the most to find, okay, because if Dunk's missed 3 threes, right, then he may be the first person out. Whereas when you have a game like this, Dunks, you got to shoot your way out of it. You all we got, and he does it. So how do you, what do you do about that? Because we've seen this team play better with limited resources versus when everybody's healthy.
I mean, Spo is way more comfortable, to your point, when guys are out. Like, when he has less to work with, it feels like it's more of a masterful performance from him because the way he can move things around and just play certain coverages and schemes and everything that he throws out there. And it gets to a certain point when you think about when Tyler returns, when we see him with Terry, when we see Jimmy and Bam in that mix. It almost feels like if we, because I don't know if I should say when we see them fully healthy, because it's an if, because I feel like they're never fully healthy. But around that playoff time, it feels like that's going to be the first time that we're going to essentially see them fully healthy.
Right.
So they're going to be thrown into the mix right day one of the playoffs are playing. And that could be a problem. So, like, what do they do? I think around the playoff time, no matter what we say, we're going to see Jimmy have the ball in his hands so much. So I think you're going to see certain guys' usage go down, like Terry. right now, as the ball stands a ton, I think you're going to see that go down, a decent bit. Bam in the playoffs, his usage goes up as a playmaker way more than in the regular season, so they're going to leverage that as well. But to your point, like they have these role players that they need to utilize. Like Caleb Martin is one of their most consistent players.
Right.
And he's at a point now where he's a 50% three-point shooter post All-Star break. He's going to need those shots. Like he needs to get those shots because he's kind of one of their better spacers.
He's got to get 30 minutes, right? Caleb is one of the most versatile players they have. And when it gets to crunch time, I don't want him on the bench.
Mm-hmm. He's a closer.
Right.
He's a full-time closer. I don't think there's no doubt about that. I think if you were to name like the for sure closers on this team, it's probably Jimmy, Caleb, and Bam.
Right.
Like, that's probably the end discussion in terms of the front court, just because of what he provides and Spo trusts him. But you have these other role players like Jaime. I think that he's a mismatch hunter in a playoff series that he's another guy that you need to put the ball in his hands a little bit, as we saw in that OKC game, a week ago. Like they just kind of spammed him in the mid post. And then Duncan Robinson, they cannot let this guy get lost. They have to prioritize this guy to get shots up because the things that he creates offensively is just different level. Like we look at this last Pistons game, they had that Patty Mills lineup out there, and all of a sudden the lead went down. And I feel like everybody watching the game was like, okay, when's Duncan going to get to the scorer's table? When is he going to enter to kind of save the offense? And he came in and hit a bunch of bailout shots and ended up putting them in a good position. So the role players are needed, but it's a good point because there's only so much usage to go around.
I would say, and correct me if this is, I'm almost tempted to say when Tyler comes back, he comes off the bench.
Ooh.
Because here's why. You can't have Tyler and Scary Terry playing at the same time. They're too similar, and the ball would just end up on the perimeter. And so usually when you have two ball handlers like that on the court at the same time, it almost seems like they play around the perimeter instead of going inside. Where there's one of them can attack. But and when Tyler, Jimmy, and Terry are playing, they almost look at each other like you go. And then there's 5 seconds left and somebody chucks up a shot and they end up scoring 80 points.
I mean, I think if Tyler was to return right now, like at this exact moment, which he's not because he's still going to be evaluated for 1 to 2 weeks, then maybe we would see it just because they just want to just get those reps in with Terry, just to try to just get that lineup to work. But the fact that he's going to be returning with your backs against the playoff time, it's just tough to see like you just change everything right at playoff time and just get the first thought. And look, he views himself as a starter. He's a starting level player, but it gets to a certain point when you kind of need to hit that next level in terms of the playoff time. And is it the worst thing in the world to have a Tyler Herro, Caleb Martin, Jaime Jaquez, Kevin Love bench in the playoffs? Like, that's a very strong bench to be heading into the playoff time, especially if you feel like your starting lineup is building a little bit of chemistry, which it seems like Duncan and Terry play off each other pretty well because, like to your point, you can't have two ball-dominant players. Duncan's puts the ball on the floor a little more now, but he's traditionally a spot-up shooter. So it's going to be interesting, but I think we are approaching that conversation that if, it's a luxury to have Tyler off the bench, but we'll see if Spo goes to it.
We're talking to Brady Hawk, lead Miami Heat writer for 5 Reasons Sports. Again, you can follow him on X. Very weird still saying that. It's Twitter, guys. Brady Hawk 305. You talked a little bit about how each of these games affect the standings and just how important each of these games is. It doesn't stop. We got the 76ers coming up. Currently, we're both 37-30. You know how it's been the whole season. One game can put you in 5th place, and then 2 losses can put you in 10th. And in a weekend, you're at the highest of highs and lowest of lows. How important is each of these games, especially with the Tyler Herro injuries that come up or the multiple changing lineups as we get towards the end of the season? How important are these games for the Miami Heat to make sure that they stay consistent and win?
Yeah, they just need to take care of it. Like this game specifically, I think you can bury the tiebreaker, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're 2-0 against Philly. So, I mean, this is a pretty important one. And look, like you said, the standings just being even, like you need every inch of space you could possibly get at this point. So they have to just kind of take care of these games. I know they have a pretty decently, easy schedule the rest of the way. Like I said before, like in past years, we would probably be worried when we hear that, because usually they take their foot off the gas, but they've taken advantage of these kind of worst teams, and they'd be able to do that. So I think that's kind of a big thing. In terms of like getting guys back, when you were mentioning, like, I look at a guy like Kevin Love, like, they need to let that guy just rest. Like, as much as you need him right now and you feel like he's best off as your backup 5 and he's so important to you, he's so important to you that you do not want to risk him getting re-injured. Like, I struggle seeing them advancing in the playoffs without Kevin Love. That's how important he is, just because they don't really have another option behind Bam. When they want to size up, they don't really have another option other than Jovic next to Bam. Kevin Love's just so important that the guys like that, they just need to just continue to let rest, and they got to just continue to play the style that they've been, and just saying, like we were just saying before, like, they're better off with less guys. That it's almost like, Spo, just keep cooking during these games and working some of these role players and kind of maximizing them and keep trying to hit the next one. So we'll see if Jimmy plays tonight. I know he's another one that I wasn't sure if that was kind of resting on the first end of the back-to-back and playing today. I don't think he wants to miss a game against Kyle Lowry. I feel like that would be a matchup he'd want to see. So we'll see.
Brady, I want to say the Heat have one of the easiest schedules to finish the season.
Correct.
Philly has one of the most difficult ones, right? Their schedule closing out the season is pretty difficult. So, I don't know what they got going on over there, but now I just look at all these games as just opportunities to kind of, okay, we can get an advantage over this team. Because keep in mind, there's been a lot of situations going into the playoffs where the Heat have either missed out on that 31-11 season when they were 11-30, where they had the same record, but they lost the tiebreakers to everybody, right? This just seems like an opportunity right now to just get wins over the teams you're competing against. So at the end, when it all adds up, okay, we got the advantage over this team or this team, and so I look at it as like, it's not only that you win games, but now it's starting to matter who you beat.
Yeah, and I mean, the two teams that you're pretty much fighting with is Philly and Indiana. Like, Orlando feels like they're hitting a certain point where they keep kind of winning games and they're playing a style that I don't see them falling back into the play-in. It feels like they kind of have a good rhythm that
sounds so weird when you say that.
It does feel weird to say that.
That Bancaro is unbelievable. He looks like LeBron. He's built like LeBron.
Yeah.
No, they have a solid team for sure. And you look around though, like Indiana, it feels like I think they also have a pretty difficult schedule, to your point. Like, they have another one like Philly that has a couple tough games that it really does feel like they're chasing that 6 seed. And as crazy as it sounds, I think 6 is probably their best bet in terms of like matchups. Like, 6 might be better than 4 or 5. And that may sound crazy to say because you're picking 6 over home court advantage, but like potentially pushing Boston down the line to the Eastern Conference Finals, staying in the right bracket where maybe you don't have to play a team like New York, where you could kind of avoid them as well, because they look pretty good too. Like, they're a physical team. And we look back to what happened last year. Brunson gave them more fits than anybody, it feels like, on that playoff run. So it feels like 6 is actually a pretty decent bracket to be in. And as much as, Jimmy will say he doesn't care about the standings and it doesn't matter if it's 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. He doesn't want to play the extra games. Like, he does not want to play those extra playing games, be fighting for his lives in that. So yeah, to your point, they have to win a game like this tonight. They have to take advantage of the next Pacers game. I think they play them in April, I want to say. So they have to take advantage of those type of games to kind of creep up.
Brady, before we get you out of here, we witnessed it yesterday for the game winner. This is the 3rd game in a row. Bam Adebayo has hit a 3-point. Is this in his bag now? Is Spo going to unleash the beast, or is this going to go away and I'm just going to have to reminisce and hold on to this moment?
I mean, let's be honest, it's probably going to go away, but I think it'll go away for now. Like, that's kind of where I see this. Like, I think this is something that's prepping for the near future. Like, I know people were pulling up the Chris Bosh highlights, like in those game winners, because they're just pretty similar to those ones. But he definitely has it in his bag. Like, I don't see no reason for that. But if they're letting guys like Dwayne Dedman a few years ago or Thomas Bryant shoot them, like, let Bam get them up. Just it's not like your offense is top 10 anyway. Just let him kind of shoot those shots. So, and look,
Brady, there should never be a situation, and I'm going to say this definitively, where Thomas Bryant shoots more threes than Bam. It makes me so mad. And it's not a knock on Thomas Bryant. It's just that I've seen Bam shoot threes, and those threes look too good to not see that over Thomas Bryant shooting a corner three.
Right. And that's the difference too, is like Thomas Bryant shooting the corner threes. I never felt like Bam shooting a corner three would like move the needle. Like that didn't feel like something that would change anything. Like he has to shoot the above the break ones. Like those are the ones that could, pull the big man away from the rim. He could, play a little pick and pop potentially. And we talk about, the things that Duncan was doing yesterday and is continuing to do is big time. The Duncan Bam connection has grown to new levels because Duncan felt like, okay, I can finish around the rim. I can get downhill. I can do these crazy shots in that range. The final boss in the Duncan Bam evolution of a two-man game is Bam shooting the three, and you're able to run like pick and pops. Like, how do you stop a Duncan Bam pick and pop consistently? Like that,
because you don't know who's going to do it.
You don't, and especially now considering the fact if you have Bam shooting and Duncan attacking, like who would have thought that in 2020? Like, nobody would have had that conversation. So it feels like that's like the final level. So more than like us just watching Bam shoot threes, I feel like it would do wonders for their offense just for the Duncan Bam stuff. So, I mean, he's just I'm a fan of him just continuing to get them up in the regular season. It feels like one of those things like in the playoffs, he won't take them. Like even if he continues to take them in the regular season, that'll get to that point. So, but I'm definitely think he should continue to take the above the break ones because Thomas and Bam both like they're open. Like I feel like people say like when Thomas Bryant shoot a three, like you're open for a reason. Like that's when he's shooting them like wide open in the corner. But Bam's got to get him up, especially because the offense is choppy sometimes.
Brady, I appreciate it. Good stuff, man. As usual, an amazing follow if you guys have an opportunity to do so. Again, that's Brady Hawk 305. Leroy, this man right here, I've talked to him multiple times on Heat Weekly. Don't understand how he's so much smarter than me and so much younger somehow. It's impressive, Brady. I truly appreciate you joining us, man. And thank you for the time, man.
Thanks, yes, sir. Brady. Thank you guys for having me.
When we come back, it'll be hour 2. We got some news for the Miami Dolphins. And we can't have your boy in charge without a little game time. Leroy's gonna give away his game balls, game bums. We got a lot more right here on the spring break edition of the Tobin and Leroy Show. to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a spring break edition of the Tobin and Leroy show. It is your boy, Marquito Tito, holding things down. Leroy in the building, Vlad in the building, JFig in the dungeon, she calls her room.
In the nest?
In the nest. Spotting for her next opponent.
Victim?
Hey, somebody said we should keep Brady Hawk away from JFig.
Indeed. In case you missed it, Brady Hawk just joined us. I'm sure if you're watching this show, you may or may not see him again later on tonight. I cannot confirm nor deny that statement. We do have some headlines. Let's get to these headlines that are brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Yesterday, we had a Miami Heat game that we talked about decent amount during that first hour. We got a lot of our initial reactions out, but there was actually some other news going on in the city. We'll talk a little bit more about it in Cat Talk, but the Florida Panthers lost their second in a row. And I am not blaming it on anyone in particular, but I just want everyone to know that JFig and Tobin were in the building when this. Again, I am not blaming anyone or accusing anyone of being.
She got her dukes up.
I'm just saying. I went to a game earlier this year.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
Here's what just floored me about that game.
Yeah.
The Panthers outshot Tampa 50-something to 16 or 17. Now, that many opportunities. I'm curious to know, how often do you lose a game with that much of a disparity?
Yeah, that's fair. That is
right. It's just a weird thing. No. And this is now like the second time it's happened recently.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy to me how, and I guess, they were talking about their defense was sloppy.
Yep, absolutely.
A lot of opportunities in front of the net, and they took advantage. I mean, they had 4 goals and like 12 shots. That's not very Panther-like.
No, it's not. Waddle Baby Waddle points out that we are 2-3 since trading for Tarasenko, aka Other Vlad.
Yeah, Other Vlad. There's only one original Vlad.
There's Vlad, and then there's Other Vlad. Until the Panthers start winning, then I'm sorry, Vlad, you'll have to be Other Vlad.
No, I am first and foremost Vlad. I'm like the Godfather.
Is he older? Are you older?
I don't know. He's probably older, but they're European. They're always older.
That's true.
Oh, they got them birth certificates.
Yeah, it's all fake.
Wait, but not. They don't have them better birth certificates than the Latin baseball players
or the African NFL players. But still, it is very worrisome. As great as this team is playing, there are a couple of teams that kind of scare me if they face them in the postseason.
I say that. Listen,
Carolina's one of them.
I said the same. Yeah. Wait. Hey, Vlad.
It's 3. It's 3.
You're repeating exactly what I said last week, and I got attacked.
Unnecessarily.
Right, because and my whole thing is, hey, man, with the Heat and with the Panthers, they had very good seasons last year, okay? But last year ain't this year. And when you're the hunted, when every team comes in and they know what they have to deal with the Panthers, they come in with a different attitude. If you don't match that, especially with this team like Carolina and Tampa that play very similar to you, right? Then you're going to be the Boston Bruins.
Yeah. And the Philadelphia Flyers. Two of those teams, Carolina, Tampa, and the Flyers. Those are the 3 teams that I feel.
I'm not as worried as much about the Flyers, but Carolina and Tampa, they look and play almost identical, especially Tampa, because they got some scoring on their side too.
And they got mind control. They do have mind control over the Panthers. Like they know they
got the one guy that scares the hell out of me, Kucherov. Hey,
a lot of those guys scare the crap out of me on that team. That's still a
every time they scored, it almost seemed like Kucherov had something to do with it. So,
I think they all need to be tested, if you know what I mean. I don't trust them at all. Something fishy going on. In Tampa.
But guess what?
Good at hockey.
Vlad, correct me if I'm wrong. Carolina and Tampa Bay are the OGs of the style of hockey that the Panthers are playing now.
Yes.
They've been doing it for longer, but the Panthers have seemed to kind of take it to that next step, whereas they also have the goalie play. Now, that goalie for Tampa looked sketchy, but he got the dub. But there were some moments in time where, like, they were just missing empty nets.
In other news, the Miami Dolphins re-signed a wide receiver, Braxton Berrios, signed a one-year deal worth up to $3 million. Braxton Berrios, former Miami Hurricane as well. When we first made that edition of him, I thought he would be
went crazy.
Yeah,
went crazy.
I was like, oh, he's about to be.
Here's why they have him. Here's why they have him.
To catch punts, apparently. To fair catch punts.
No, to do that stuff too. So he's not just a receiver, right? Yep. They don't need him as a receiver as much as they need his return skills. So you got to keep it, sometimes some guys have positions on their name, but that's not really their role. And you got to just pay attention to that, right? We know what he is. He's a return guy.
Yeah.
So, hold on. So I always wonder if I got. I think I may have gotten got. Right?
Who got you?
Got. Did the Pittsburgh Steelers trade for Justin Fields?
Yes, they did.
Indeed, my friend.
Okay. All right. Because I didn't know if it was Ian Rappaport or Rappaport or I thought I got because it was weird that nobody announced it, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, out of their social media, we have acquired Justin Fields, which means, let me tell you what that means. You want me to tell you what that says?
Yeah.
They say, hey, Russ, we got you for veterans minimum.
We got you for nothing.
We got you for nothing. But you best believe, if you come in here with that nonsense like you did into Denver, it don't cost us nothing. And we got Justin Fields, who we really want for the long term. Right? So there's a bunch of people, including those two quarterbacks. And I'm not saying Justin Fields was a problem, right? But they got some immediate get right. Right? When they brought in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. They tired of struggling at quarterback. That's what that says. Now, Pittsburgh going to be a problem because they got a coach who don't lose, right? They just signed a stud at linebacker.
Sorry, is that weight music that I hear in the background, Vlad? I think I hear.
Yeah, you hear that song. The ending of Furious, Fast and Furious. Yeah.
Why are they playing music so loud?
Well, all right, dude. So a little peek behind the curtains. The AC's out, so the door has to be open in order for Vlad to survive, or fair. Else I'll be a rotisserie chicken up in this.
That's fair.
So therefore,
I saw you were in the
wait. Hey, can I just tell you?
Yeah.
Your little ass ain't nourishing nobody.
I'm not gonna lie. If I saw you,
right now, if you would have said Marcos would feel like a rotisserie chicken, I'm like, oh yeah, he got all them kind of chemicals.
That's a pork. Marcos is a pork roast right there. He's a pork roast. He's a pork roast. There's no so yeah, that's what you're listening to right there. So yes.
Yeah. Well, you can turn that hallway music down.
Can we? I don't know how.
We're gonna have to.
They have a knob. out in the hallway.
Somewhere. We'll find it.
But yeah.
Yeah, so you know what this was really more than anything, Justin Fields going over to Pittsburgh and the way that it was announced, this was strategic by the Chicago Bears. I don't know how many Irish populations.
Oh, they just snuck it out there, right?
They're like, everyone's getting
there.
hammered on St. Patrick's Day. Everyone in Chicago getting hammered with that Green River.
You know why?
And why?
Because you don't want to be the team that hold out for more and get less.
Did they get anything really from?
If they would have traded him a month ago, they could have got a second or third rounder.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
They waited, and now they got what, a fifth or sixth rounder conditional?
Yeah, they got a sixth rounder that
could be a just
fourth. But
okay, and so the best you could do is a fourth round pick. The best you could do. So they snuck that out there Sunday before Mass.
Yep.
And before everybody go and get drunk with the Green Rivers, right? Because that, they're I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of teams in all the sports that overplay their hand and then end up having to eat it. And that's kind of what happened. Because if they would have waited any longer, I wouldn't be surprised.
Leroy, you think they waited, or they just realized that that Justin Fields is not what they thought he would be and what many people in the league think he is?
Here's what I think. The Justin Fields has gotten progressively better, right? The talent around him, right? As the talent around him improved, so did he. So when they got DJ Moore, isn't it amazing how his numbers picked up and his, everything picked up with him? That's football. So people can put it on, but that's football. That's how it works. Sometimes the talent around you has to be a part of your progression, right? You can't put Justin Fields in a situation where the Aaron Rodgers would or a Tom Brady would make, we say those quarterbacks make everybody around them better. He wasn't there yet, but you expected him to just lift your team up with no talent around it. So if you look at his progression, he's gotten progressively better. Now, I will say this. Here's the problem with that. Because you were lazy in adding talent around him, now you end up in a situation where you have to make a decision. You can like the fact that Justin Fields was progressing to where you want him to be, right?
Right.
Caleb Williams is coming up, and he's supposed to be a game changer. But here's the part of it that makes it the reason why they had to do what they did. Because in a year, you're going to have to pay Justin Fields. So do you do this? Do you pay Caleb Williams and let Justin Fields go and kind of keep him under that rookie deal for 2 or 3 years? Or do you keep riding the progression of Justin Fields?
Can't ride the progression. I'll tell you why.
Why?
He wasn't my quarterback. I didn't draft him. They came into that situation with Justin Fields.
I got you. But for whatever reason, when what quarterbacks are getting paid.
Right.
I would rather ride Caleb Williams for 2 or 3 years.
And I get a restart because that's my guy. So then I get extra years to
see. You looking at it from the coaching. And
I'm looking at it from everything because you got to understand, like I've told you this before, like I feel like in all sports, everything's 2 years. You got 2 years to make a run.
You can't see, but you can't do that with quarterback. Because let me tell you why. Because we will look at somebody like Jordan Love, and we will look at somebody like Aaron Rodgers, and we will look at somebody like Patrick Mahomes and say they got going within 2 years. But those actually wasn't their second year as pros. They didn't play 2 years as pros. You see what I'm saying? They all sat. When you thrust a quarterback into a position like that, like you did Justin Fields, he got to get more than 2 years.
But here's the problem, Leroy, because of those success of those quarterbacks, right?
But they all
you want to win before you have to give that quarterback the big bag.
But
that's what the Dolphins try to do before they got to pay Tua. They were trying to win. That's why they signed all these free agents. And if you don't win, then the money's got to go somewhere else.
I agree with you. Okay, you are 100%. But did Chicago do that?
No, they did not.
So the person that ends up paying is not the team.
No, it's Justin Fields.
It's the play. It's Justin Fields, because you didn't do what they did with Tua. You didn't do what they did with Mahomes. You didn't do what they did with Jordan Love. You look at all these quarterbacks, right? Hell, everybody said Trevor Lawrence was that guy. They got questions now, right? He was thrust into it. You see what I'm saying? You look at Justin Herbert. Now they rebooting with Justin Herbert because they already gave him the money now. So now they rebooting with him and the new coach. So, like, sometimes these circumstances in which you come into play, and credit to Mike McDaniel for seeing that, and credit to the organization, because they said, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go all out to put nothing but talent around Tua, and then we're going to evaluate him then. We're not going to evaluate him with them first 2 years. But everybody doesn't do that, and the person that ends up paying is the player that's thrown into that situation. So can Justin Fields? I think Justin Fields is going to a perfect situation where that team doesn't always rely on the quarterback. He is a piece. They're going to run the football. They're going to play defense. That's what they're going to do in Pittsburgh. And then he's going to make some plays.
Well, yeah, he'll make some plays if Russell gets hurt, because Russell's been
he's been
named the starter already.
So?
Mike Tomlin said it.
But guess what? Matt Flynn was named the starter in Seattle before.
That's messed up. You think that'd be messed up for Russell's career to end just like that, how it started?
If he
not Matt Flynn.
Wait. Let me ask you a question.
Laughing right now.
Let me ask you a question. You think, okay, if that coach sees that Justin Fields is better, he's still gonna leave Russ in?
Yeah, no, I get you that. But as of right now, if I'm looking at both quarterbacks,
as of right now, with no football being played, Russ is
I'm going with Russ. I'm still going with the guy. I'm still going with the resume. I'm still going with the guy with the Super Bowl.
Of course.
You gotta go with Russ.
You know what that Justin Fields in your pocket mean? Listen,
just a little insurance, baby.
Dude, it's only a 1-year deal. That's what's great. But you got to give Pittsburgh credit. Yeah. Got to give Pittsburgh credit. I know Leroy being that's your AFC North or AFC Central division. But
I do. Listen, I always give mad love to Pittsburgh. I think how they do things as an organization,
they do it the right way,
and the support they give their coaches, right? And how they ride it out and don't get caught up in this fan stuff about getting a new coach or whatever, right? I think how they do things, but here's what they do. They are more careful with who they hire so they can make those decisions to wait it out. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing that is important. The way they play and how they go about their business, they're always in contention. Always.
They did.
You got to respect that, even if I don't like them.
Baby hands.
They did a lot of Kenny Pick. Oh, no, that's not quarterback.
Baby hands.
In a minute, he was going to get your baby hands out of here.
Yep.
When we come back, we will talk more of signings from around the league. But before we go, Leroy, can you tell me a little bit about that Kozar coffee?
That Kozar coffee. You guys all know BK, right? University of Miami great. Won a national championship. Won a Super Bowl in Dallas, right? But his greatest comeback is the one he made with his health. After a grueling career, 40 surgeries, over 100 concussions, Bernie was down but not out. He realized that food is medicine and changed what he put into his body. Bernie started creating wellness products and has finally released Kozar Coffee, an organic coffee that's infused with vitamin D and resveratrol, which is nature's miracle antioxidant. This combination of ingredients is exclusive to Kozar Coffee and is a perfect way to start your own journey to a healthier life. Just go to kozarcoffee.com to order your game-changing coffee. You can also get Kozar Coffee apparel. Just use code Leroy and you'll get an exclusive discount for our listeners. Again, use code Leroy at kosarcoffee.com. You guys all know Bernie. He's a positive guy, and he believes you deserve to be healthy because you matter.
Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy Show. Welcome back to Spring Break on the Tobin and Leroy Show. Our boy Tobin.
I got a bone to pick with him.
Yeah. All right.
If you're going to be on vacation,
Yep.
be on vacation.
Yep.
Don't be hitting us up with and then telling us that's a point.
That's a point.
Yeah.
Wait, who's giving a point to?
So first he sends the text. Adam Schefter reports Dolphins are re-signing free agent Isaiah Wynn to a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Then he replies, sounds like a win-win, if you ask me. And then gives himself a point.
-1 for show pony.
Yes, that's it.
That's our boy
-1.
Still contributing. I appreciate that. Like you just heard right there, Dolphins are re-signing free agents Isaiah Wynn to a 1-year deal. So that's good. Solidifying the O-line a little bit more. You can never have too much depth at the O-line, so that's always a good.
Here, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this as a person who before last year had a lot of doubts what they were doing with that offensive line.
True. Same.
And that offensive line was effective.
Butch Berry did his thing, man.
So,
You got to give them credit.
So I'm gonna say this before I comment or before I make comments about what they have done to the roster, about what improvements they have made or what they have done to fill voids. I'm gonna let it play out a little bit.
Let it marinate.
Because we were all wrong about the offensive line last year. Let's not act like, and one of the guys we had questions about and just ended up getting a $100 million contract. So
yeah, that was crazy.
That's ridiculous.
That was crazy.
Let's not sit here and act as if we know more about it. The one thing that we can do and we should do is let him cook. Because we have already seen, right? We have already seen in the last couple of years where we had questions and there were no questions, right? What are we going to do at corner? What are we going to do at this? Who's going to play opposite X? X is always hurt, and boom. Look who they signed, right?
Yep.
So, although I do have questions, and I was curious as to why they wouldn't re-sign Van Ginkel, right? I'm gonna sit back and listen. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna put my feelings on the back burner.
Don't do that.
We know the feelings about what's going on is back there, right? Hey, glad it still hurts my heart that they got rid of Christian Wilkins. It hurts.
Bro, listen. We talking Leroy. We were talking during the break, Marcos, and I was like, you know, the Raiders are coming to town this season, right?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I'm like, you know, the Raiders are going that. It just always happens like that. When you leave a former team, you always play them that first season.
Right.
Like not 9 times out of 10, you played them that first season. So Wilkins will be making his return to Hard Rock Stadium. And could you imagine if he makes a play, you know, the determining play or something like that, or if he's balling out, the fan base will go
He's
crazy.
gonna ball out. And there's no doubt in my mind he balling out. That's why he got all that money. Because he's been balling out.
That's what,
right.
You mentioned we're going to Seattle too, right?
Huh?
We're going to Seattle too.
You're going to Seattle.
Jerome Baker.
And you're going to Green Bay.
Jerome Baker just signed with Seattle.
Yes. What was that? Why don't they just trade each other?
They
You signed the Seahawks linebacker, and the Seahawks signed your linebacker.
Here's why, because Jerome Baker was hurt.
No, I get that. I get that.
Can't trade.
But it just seems like, I might as well have just traded for each other. But, and you also, I know Leroy's going to the Cleveland game.
Oh, Leroy.
It's in Cleveland.
It's in Cleveland.
Yeah. So, but here's the deal. And so, as a person who has been very critical of some of the decisions that have been made, I still have to also be aware of all the decisions that I had questions about kind of worked out, because we ended up with Jalen Ramsey. We ended up with, Jordan Poyer, right? we ended up with some guys who can play. And so I'm going to kind of sit back and see how the defense plays out. What are we going to do? And yeah, I'm even though I can be upset while allowing this man in Greer to do what he's done the last couple of years and then complain if it don't work out.
My last point on this, though, Leroy, is I think the fan bases, and I'm using my team, the Jets, because of last offseason, how so many news were happening so early. Jalen Ramsey was early, right? Jalen Ramsey was before the draft. Jalen Ramsey was
I got you. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
A lot of these big names were a lot of moves were made before when the free agency began.
Can I also say this? The reason why X is not signed.
Yeah, he won't be cut till June 1st.
He's a June 1st cut.
Right.
So I'm wondering, there's some other players who are like that.
If you notice what's going to happen with the Dolphins, because they got to save money to pay up some key players in the offensive end.
Right.
They're going to sign some very good veterans who still got some thread on the tire for 1 year, 2 year deals, because they're either going to be
that's where they are.
Cuts, right. And that's when they get most of their money. That's when they'll have cap relief. So that's what it is. We want instant gratification.
You got to be patient with this.
Like, for example, I'm happy the Jets signed Tyron Smith. We needed an offensive tackle. We got a left tackle. Another thing that I'm noticing that the Dolphins are doing, and a lot of teams really, if you see the moves that are being made in free agency, they're not leaving themselves desperate or
Or so you got to overpay. You got to overpay people to get
it. And you're not going in the draft where everybody knows who you need to select. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
like the Dolphins now they can do whatever they want with that first round selection.
Right.
They can get one of those great 7 receivers that's in the first round. They can get a tackle. They can do anything they want because they made some sound signings.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. We got to let it play out a little bit. We do.
We are going to take a break. We're going to come back with Leroy's game balls and game bums of the weekend. But before we do, Leroy, can you please tell us a little bit about Live Golf, my friend?
Golf's boldest league is coming back to Miami from Friday, April 5th through Sunday, April 7th. And now's your chance to be there. Catch Live Golf at Doral Blue Monster and see John Rahm, Brooks Koepka, and Dustin Johnson take on one of the world's most fearsome courses with live DJs and a euphoric headline concert. Guess who's performing? Akon.
Oh, that's funny. Somebody said I look like him right now.
Yeah.
With the bald head.
Tickets are selling fast, so grab yours now at livegolf.com. That's livegolf.com.
I'm locked up. They won't let me out.
Locked up. This guy's a ball.
Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. It is time now for Leroy's Game Ball and Game Bomb. Leroy, I actually have a nomination too. I don't want to take any of your shine. But I want to ask real quick, by any chance, did you see any jersey swaps this weekend?
And now, here's the question. Here's the question. That probably could go to all right, oh no. And
Fair.
You know what else?
Yeah.
It could probably be both of them.
I mean, whether or not
Right?
it's all right.
It's like it just depends.
Oh, it's definitely a yo.
Yeah, right. It could be both because you could dap them up for creativity while giving them an oh no for putting it out there like that, right? So that's what I'm saying. Now, so you say keep that in your pocket because that
literally keep it in your pocket.
Here's what are you drinking Celsius? So
No, he's drinking ginger ale. Seagram.
This is it's
not
soda.
Seagram's ginger ale.
Oh, it's club soda.
Yeah, it's
Club
the second
soda.
time I've done this. Yeah, second time I've done this. When I go over to the promotions area and I'm tempting to steal a drink, it's too early for Sprite. Can't do it, especially warm Sprite. Like, what am I, an animal? And they don't have normal bottles of water. So if I want water without having to go all the way to the water fountain and back, I have to drink Seagram's Club Soda, which is
Horrible.
just as bad as you think it'd be. Just as bad as you think
I
it'd be.
can't believe it. Those two guys are really holding those jerseys with pride.
Yeah. So my game ball is gonna go to Scotty Scheffler. And here's why. He just did something that Jack Nicklaus hasn't done, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Rory McIlroy, right? All of the great golfers. He is the first person in the history of the PGA Players Championship.
Yeah.
To defend the title.
Oh, back to back.
Back to back. The
Damn.
first person.
Yeah, that's impressive.
In fact, I think the best that anyone has done is either like a 5th or 8th place.
Huh. Damn.
It's that hard of a it's one of the few tournaments where everybody can win it. Anybody can win. It doesn't matter if you're a long hitter or a short hitter. Everybody in the field has a chance to win. So, he did it with a banged up neck. On Friday and Saturday, he could barely bend over to pick up his ball out of the hole. And then he shot 8 under on Sunday.
Still won.
Yeah, pretty amazing. But it also means that somebody had to spit the bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's Wyndham Clark and
Wyndham
Clark, who on Saturday was leading by 5 shots.
Nasty work. How you lose a 5-stroke lead?
Because it's golf. One swing, you hit a ball in the water. That's 2 or 3 shots right there.
And it was good conditions.
Perfect conditions. Perfect conditions.
You win
and
thank you. You win them sometimes.
And
thank you. I'll take
and Xander Schauffele, who also spit the bit.
He's
right.
always spit the bit.
But that's the thing. Like, that guy is an ATM as far as making money, but he don't win. Right? He got more top 10s, more top 5s, more runner-ups than anybody. He just don't win. Now, he's won a lot of tournaments. But I think we starting to, because he's there all the time, just assume he should win more. Right? But, I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because you ain't winning them, but it's a good thing you always in the hunt. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I left it all to golf because I'm going to save my other stuff for all right and oh no, because I think when Marcos gives his all right and oh no, we going to chew on that for a minute.
Wait.
We're not going to chew on it, but we going to.
Yo.
I'm saying we going to sit back and just totally just.
We're gonna talk about what happened.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about what happened.
We're gonna talk about what
Observe from
happened.
a safe distance.
Because, like, holy smoke.
That was
I didn't think it was real.
Sorry, I can't believe they did that.
And you know they did it to mess with people, right?
No, I know. It's funny. It's funny
It's funny.
because
Wow.
it's two intangibles.
Right.
With one of them holding
Yes.
a last name of the other person, and they're not. That's what it is. They're not.
Right. Neither one of them are. So
we got that. We got much more. We're gonna come back with Cat Talk, 15 minutes of heat. We got spring break trivia ahead as well. All right, oh no, it is a jam-packed last 2 hours of the show. Make sure you're tuning in right here.
Spring break trivia? What are you, Fort Lauderdale Cops?
You know what? It's going to be specifically MTV TRL spring break trivia, you know, because that's really where the origin of spring break, like that's where the fun stuff's at. So we got more of that right here on 560 WQAM. Yeah. Welcome on in to the Tobin and Leroy show. It is your boy Marcos here, holding things down for the spring break edition. Also holding things down on the other side of the glass is our boy Vlad. Leroy here with us. JFig probably joining us this hour. We got TRL trivia coming up, so she's definitely got to be here for that at least, right? But right now, we got some cat talk on our hands. It is time now, ladies and gentlemen, hockey fans. Do yourself a favor. Don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius a part of the play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers. Did you chill that?
Nice.
That is chilled to a nice 81 degrees.
That's not chill.
It is currently
That's
in
not
the
chill.
studio.
That's not chill.
That is
You're not drinking. You're not drinking 81 degrees Celsius.
diabolically warm.
You're a slurper. What is wrong with you?
Oh, it's gonna burn my lips in the other way. As hot as this thing is. The Florida Panthers were in action Saturday with maybe a couple mushes in the audience, but we'll leave them to
wait.
themselves.
Who attended the game?
Oh, thank you for asking, because there'd be no other way for me to bring this up other than you asking, of course, because I wouldn't just randomly volunteer this information that Brendan Tobin.
Wait, what?
And Yennefer.
Oh my god,
Figueroa.
This is like the tag team champions of bad luck.
Bad luck
Of the mush.
This is
the Mush Twins.
The Mush Twins put their energy.
The Mush Whackers,
and they were able to propel the Tampa Bay Lightning to victory. That's really what it was. That's really what it was.
He said they propelled them.
Yeah, the Panthers unfortunately drop 2 in a row, something we're not used to this season. Although even in a loss, our boy Reinhardt had a hell of a game. He adds 2 goals to his already impressive stat of 48 goals on the season, 2 away from 50. As we've mentioned multiple times, Pavel Bure. I don't think I'm saying that's correct.
No, you got it. Pavel Bure. You did.
59 goals is what he had in 2000-2001. So
or Mr. Anna Kournikova. Either way.
Yeah.
Right now, though, Reinhardt is actually in the lead. He has the Panthers record for most power play goals on a season at 27. So he's having a solid year. It's the one bit of light you can get from that game. As Leroy mentioned, it was pretty disappointing. Not often are the shooting stats what they were, and you end up losing that game. But
okay,
it happens.
Let's look at the bright side.
It's okay.
There's always a flip to everything.
Yes.
We don't want you. We don't want to win the President's Cup.
Yeah, it's a curse. It's a curse.
It's a curse.
Hey, now we hold on. This is the equivalent to when the parents are out of town and the high schoolers go and drink their liquor, because Tobin is having none of this.
Why he wants the President's Cup so that he can break it?
Yeah. And we are, and I'm, I'm like, maybe you still need you just still need to have a little bit of hunger going into the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And
you don't want fat cat syndrome. That's what you don't want.
And keep in mind, like, here's what I love about it. There's a couple of situations that this has occurred. When LeBron won a championship against
the Warriors,
right? And everybody was talking about Steph blew it. They let him come back from 3-1. I'm like, do you not remember that the Warriors did that to OKC a series before that, right? So it's possible. And what I would say is, do people not remember what Florida did to the Bruins, who scored more points than anybody in the history of the NHL, right? So, like, let's not stop. Let's quit acting like, especially in that sport, let's not act like you aren't susceptible to the same types of things that you did, right? It's the same thing with the Heat. Everybody, it's easy to say, I don't care as long as we get in. we gonna do what we do. I said, but you don't think the Heat can't get heated if they go into a play-in and some team make that charge and they go to the finals? Why can it does it only have to be your team that can do that? So you avoid those situations at all costs, right? The way you avoid lightning in the bottle, if you are the Heat, is get a minimum of the 6th seed. You ain't got to deal with that foolishness, right? Stop acting like it don't matter. It matters. If you are the Panthers, right? Stop acting like you got no worries, because the last 2 teams they lost to play the same style of hockey they play. So you can't get got? You did it last year. So I'm not saying that they can't win, but I'm saying to just shrug it off like it's nothing is foolishness.
I think you're full of fear, Leroy.
I'm not full of fear. I'm full of reality. That's
Why would you want to put yourself through that stress again?
I think you're a scaredy cat. How about that?
I'm telling you right now,
fear.
I am not scared of anybody. Okay,
they got lucky, dude. It's just a
so
little...
you can't say the Panthers got lucky last year.
No, but see, we're past that though. We're at a different point in our. We got the President's Cup year. Remember that? That was fun.
That was what 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
And then
Tampa,
horrible, right?
Tampa came down and laid a smackdown on you.
Hey, Marcos.
Yeah.
Here's what I learned being in sports my whole life. As long as there's another team across from you, they got a chance. Right? Keep in mind, I also played on a team that was 11-point favorite and lost in the NFC Championship game. Okay? I also played in a game where, whoa. I also played in a game in college. We were up 30-14 with 5 minutes left to go in the game. And we lost 31-30 to the Miami Hurricanes. Okay? So I've been around sports my whole life. So when people just shrug off, this team has no chance, or this team can't do this, I said, the other team still got however many of the top 1% or 1% of all athletes at that sport. Anything could happen. I'm not saying the Panthers can't win, but to just shrug it off like no big deal, like they ain't a team that could do what they did last year, is crazy.
I got faith in the Cats, dude. It's a different year, bro.
He didn't say he didn't have faith with the team.
I didn't say I didn't have faith. I'm just telling you that when you come on here and say no big deal, no this, don't worry about it, or when you say with the Heat, don't worry about it, Jim VP, don't worry about it, Jim VP.
You know what he's doing? He's in the seat.
Right. He's in the seat.
He's in the Tobin's aura is just it's engulfing him right now.
As long as we've been watching sports, we can go back all the way to the 80 hockey team when they beat the Russians. As long as we go in sports, it's funny how we only think our team is the team that could do something like that. And I'm telling you, being on both sides of it during my lifetime, right? You can get got. Everybody can get got. So don't just shrug it off as no big deal. Don't just think, oh, as long as Miami gets there, I don't care what they've done the last few years. Every year is a new year, right? And while we sit here and praise the Heat organization for just having, just call it culture or whatever, to always have a chance to win against anybody with anybody you put out there, that's fine and great. But don't just shrug it off like they're going to keep doing it every year. Don't take that for granted. You guys make a lot of assumptions in sports when you're fans. I don't do that. I'm worried about Carolina and Tampa. I am.
And the Flyers.
I don't think here. I'm not saying
it was a lucky win.
Wait,
it was
here's the deal.
You talking about the 2 wins they won in Sunrise? Where they held you to 1 goal?
That's alarming. That's alarming. But
there's the thing about this.
Win.
Carolina beat you twice, and all the scoring that you've done in the league, you only scored 1 goal against them in 2 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Won't happen again.
Okay.
Third
You
time
just,
the charm.
hey, that's an assumption that you are making that I will not make.
All right, these are 2 different teams though that we're talking about. They're obviously in the same situations as they were last year with the playoffs, being the 8th seed, sneaking in and having a miraculous playoff season. But if you look at the Miami Heat, I can understand the fear that you have with the Miami Heat. They're like 1-8 against teams that are actually good. Probably even worse record than what I just mentioned.
Hey, by the way, whoa. Yeah. Now, Vlad, here's where we circle this thing around. Okay? Because I'm going to say this to you, and I want to hear your response. One, Marcos Gonzalez.
That's me.
Why did you bitch and complain
Yep.
about the Dolphins not being able to beat a team with a winning record? But
Yep.
then, but then with the Heat, just assume that everything is going to be okay, even though they 1-8.
I would love to answer that.
But no, I will tell you why. Leroy, I'll tell you why. Leroy, no. Leroy,
What's up?
you answered your own question when you were describing the fans and their beliefs with the Panthers. The reason why he thinks that's because he's seen the Heat do things like that. So so there's footage. There's actually memory. There's you can go back like remember last year.
I'll give you that. I will give you that you can say they've done it before. You can say they've done it before.
Same way you said, just because it's been done before. But fans will always look at it when it's
from their perspective.
From their perspective when it comes to their team. So they're always gonna look like, oh, it's like you were the second team, the Heat or the second 8 seed to make it to the NBA Finals.
Right. Yeah.
You know what? There's another reason though. In addition to having history on my side. Because, sometimes history repeats itself. Other times it doesn't matter. You can be 1 seed, 8 seed. More importantly, I know when it comes down to clutch time, when it comes down to the most important part of the season, on the Miami Heat, I have a guy. And as much as that doesn't fit into any stat sheet or analytics, that was the reason the Miami Heat got as far as they did last year. When it comes down to the Miami Dolphins,
you see now, you see what you did, Leroy. You see what you did, Leroy. You see what you did. You see how you were really
take control.
You're the Hispanic Tobin. You're becoming Hispanic Tobin.
Clutch. Can't do anything without.
Call him El Tobino.
El Tobino. He knew he was somehow gonna twist it into a Tua. You are El Tobino.
That's it. That's your new nickname.
That is a new nickname.
El Tobino. You little Tobin.
I need a theme song. I need a wardrobe change, and I need to present myself as El Tobino.
You need to wear a luchador mask. Let's go. Just wear a luchador mask, and you're El Tobino.
Honestly, though, it's a fact. When you look at the Panthers, I can trust Kachuk. I can trust Barkov. I can trust.
Yeah, okay, but here, there's a lot of guys. You know what? You say you can't trust Tua. Okay?
Yeah.
But let's be clear. I'm going to show you a trend in football, right? All the teams that didn't do well in the playoffs had one common flaw. It wasn't their quarterback. You know what it was? Their inability to run the football at crunch time, right? That's from Lamar Jackson. That's from Philly, right? Just go look at all the teams who you thought were going to compete for a championship. When they came up short, it was their inability to run the football. So, look at what they all did in the offseason. All them running backs that everybody said were going to be cheap and they were going to be sitting there forever, running backs were the first thing to come off the board in free agency. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So when you want to put it all on Tua, okay, we don't put it all on Lamar Jackson. We never put it all on Aaron Rodgers, even though that dude made some mistakes as the number 1 seed throwing picks at the end of football games. We just dismissed that, right? We didn't put we didn't put any of it on Justin Fields. I mean, not Justin Fields, but in Philly. In Philly.
Oh,
Jalen Hurts.
And Jalen Hurts, right? We all pointed out all the other things that they didn't do. All right. Now we get to Tua. We don't point out the fact that they make in all these games that they played against better teams who adjusted to them, they had no second half adjustments, right? And we all put it on Tua when the fact of the matter is the team that damn near led the league in rushing, when they get to those crunch times, stop running the ball.
Can't run the ball when you're down on the scoreboard.
Well, then
they've been in all these games. They haven't gotten blown out very often. They've been in all these games.
They did
and
score
in some
one
instances,
touchdown.
Some of these games they had the lead.
So Leroy's trying to say he's not on the quarterback, but blame has to be put on someone.
Totally on the quarterback.
And I told you, hey, wait, Marcos.
Yes.
I told you who it's on.
He says it's on Mike McDaniel for lack of second half adjustments. I say
I agree.
To hell with both of them. How about that? Package deal in, package deal out. But I think I got one more year.
All right. I got you.
We can bundle them up.
I got you. But that being said, with our original thing.
Yes.
I'm not from the school of assumption, right? In all the years I did playing sports, here's what a coach would tell me. You can tell me you could do it, but I need to see it. And every year you got to show me that you are capable of doing what you need me to do. So when I watch sports, I come to the table with the same attitude that, okay, that's fine and great. He'd have done it over and over and over again. And I give them credit for that, right? And I always deep down say to myself, they'll find a way to get it done, right? I believe that. That being said, I haven't seen Jim VP. And I was told that it was going to kick in after All-Star break. Then I was told it's going to kick in on playoffs. Then I was told, hey, okay, man, keep going.
By the way, right foot contusion? Really? When?
I don't know. That sounds kind of like
it's a boo-boo, so he had to play back-to-backs. Come on, dude.
They ain't no back-to-back. They had a day off in between.
No, they did.
No, they got one tonight.
They got one tonight.
Oh.
You know he's gonna play in Philly. He has to.
Okay.
Come on,
Vlad.
Read the room, Vlad. Read the room.
That's right. Okay, I'm just listen. We all looked at it yesterday because, like, wait a minute, like,
read the room.
Tip off. It was like, right foot contusion.
Yeah. He got a boo-boo.
But here's the thing, though. You really can't afford to be losing games or giving away games. That game is more difficult than it is.
But if you can't beat the Pistons,
can I just say this?
It doesn't matter, though.
As currently, hey, Vlad, tell me if you agree. As currently constructed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last night's game was more difficult to win than tonight's game.
Yes.
Based on Embiid not playing. Right? Last night's game was more difficult to win. One against the same team you played against and with a whole bunch of athletes.
Yeah, even though you know you're a better team, but if you losing two of your best players. You don't have Tyler, and Jimmy did not play yesterday. So that game was exactly what you thought it was going to be. It was going to be a tough game.
Are we to the
point? You have the best player with Bam.
Are we to the point now in the season with Tyler's health concerns or condition or whatever that we can't even include him as one of the best players because he is not going to have an impact or the impact he should have on winning because he's been banged up?
Well, put it this way. I think this is the end of the three. Wow. Bam, Tyler, and Jimmy.
There's two guys who need to be on the floor, Caleb and Duncan.
Yep.
They need to be playing some of the most minutes, and they earned it. Caleb is your most versatile player.
For sure. I mean, he was one of the better players of that finals stretch.
He should have won. To me, I think he should have won. I thought he should have won Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about Tyler Herro's injury and the Miami Heat in 15 minutes of Heat coming up next. Before we go to break, though, we do have Sting coming to the Fillmore in Miami Beach in October with the Sting 3.0 tour. And we've got a chance for you to win tickets. To enter, just text the word Sting, STING to 20357. That's STING to 20357. And you've got a chance to win. Message and data rates may apply. This is a Live Nation show, and we are live on the spring break edition of the Tobin and Leroy show. Welcome back. Welcome. It is the spring break edition of the Tobin and Leroy show.
It's funny, it's a spring break edition, but you still got some of them badass takes.
Wow. That's offensive. I thought that was pretty good. Remember, you guys thought it was going to be something else about the team, and I somehow made it about Tua. That's a true masterclass of troll. We got 15 minutes of heat right now. We were talking a little bit prior to us going to break here about the health status of one Tyler Herro. If you guys,
it's not good, right, Leroy?
It don't even matter because he's not here. Here's when you know it's substantial. He's already missed like 13 games.
And
right?
when they tell you,
and he's not going to be evaluated for another week or two. That means that however he's strapped up, if he's booted, if he's in a cast or whatever, they not even checking to see where he is for another 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, he received what is known as a PRP injection. PRP stands for platelet-rich plasma injection. Leroy, you ever got one of those?
No, because my issues are cartilage. So
Yikes.
cartilage doesn't have blood, so platelet replacement does nothing for that. But
All
what
right.
they do is they take your blood, they let me see if I get this right. They clean it, not clean it, but you know,
They do some sort of separation process.
like
Right.
they recycle it, right? Like it's
yeah,
like
right.
If I'm not mistaken,
And
right?
then put it back in so
Yeah.
that you have fresh blood and it helps with the healing.
I think the first time we heard about it was like Kobe. He went to Germany.
Kobe went to Germany. Correct. Correct.
Huh?
Correct.
Well, I was certain that you had to go to Germany for that.
Well, there's a lot of
Because it wasn't legal here.
There's a lot of okay. Now
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Well, not here. Whoa. Let me correct that.
Mm.
It wasn't FDA approved here.
Is antler spray FDA approved?
Antler spray.
Now you talk about the cream and the
No, the reason why I asked that is because there's certain injuries that tap into great athletes, just athletes in general, that you question how quickly they return from that type of injury.
Here's what
Ray Lewis ripped the muscle off his arm.
Yeah, he just put a brace on.
No, he put antler spray and a brace on it.
Well, here
And lead his team to a Super Bowl victory.
I mean, Vlad. Hold on. So the thing that people lose track of with injuries is no matter how bad the injury sounds, there's different levels. Now with him, if he had torn it from his bone, he wouldn't be able to use his arm. Okay. So that was not accurate. He had a tear. Okay. Whereas you could put a brace on it, limit his motion, he could still play. Still got to be tough as hell to do it. But I think people get caught up in hearing the injury and just lumping it in with all the other injuries. It's like when you say, oh, somebody returned for 2 weeks from this, and it's taking you a month, right? And because all you hear is what the injury is, but there's different levels. For example, a sprained knee is a level of tear, okay? How severe the tear is increases the level of sprain to the point where then it just becomes ligament damage and you need surgery or whatever, right? Perfect example was when what's his name? Tannehill was here, right? He ain't tougher than nobody. His tear, when they decided not to have surgery, wasn't as bad as somebody who needed surgery. So they could go in and repair it, which would take, say, 8 months, or because it wasn't severe, you can kind of do rehab and kind of get it back to where you can function. Now, he ended up getting hurt again, which probably wasn't a good move, but those are the different things that you take chances with as far as how injuries go. We just like, so he could have, what Tyler said, he could have a foot injury,
right? But
and they classifying it as we have no idea what the foot injury is, right? Or how severe it is. But I've got to tell you, he's been out a month. So it's got to be more substantial than a boo-boo.
Oh no, if they giving you a shot and they say they got to reevaluate you in
Correct.
2 to 3 weeks, that means they're hoping the shot does something
Correct.
to lessen whatever the injury
Right.
is so that
So
they can
I'm
give a
guessing.
better prognosis on how long you'll be out.
I'm guessing he hasn't even been weight bearing. Right?
Oh, he has no
Because
conditioning. There's
huh?
nothing he's doing. I
There's
bet you he
nothing.
hasn't even conditioned. He
Correct.
probably hasn't even run.
You know, the other thing is bone bruise. I don't know how long those things take to heal. Man, I limped around. Remember when I had a bone bruise and I don't even know how I got it, and I had a crack in my fibula, right? And I didn't know how long that was going to take to heal because I ain't never had nothing crazy like that. And that's just from doing regular stuff. That ain't from playing a professional sport.
And I think people look at you weird because you hear bruise. Bruise doesn't sound like bad.
Right.
It's a bruise. It's like a cut.
Yeah.
Bone bruise is a very tough thing. Like it's no, like you see guys who have bone bruise, they out for weeks. Like it's a hard thing to explain, but it's like, yeah, Hero needs to go see Dr. Toboggan. Nah, he passed the services of Dr. Toboggan.
You need to see my doctor in Hialeah because he can also get his oil changed at the same time, and if he has his taxes, he can get that done at the same spot. Too. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Hey,
He's like,
and if your girl want to do a little something,
Yeah, it's
we
a
can
little
fix
something,
that. We can
something,
fix that in the duplex.
We got a little cement.
Yeah.
that she could get a Kyle Lowry?
So that's the thing that scares me about what Tyler's going through. It's not the fact that you have, no idea what the injury is, right? But we don't have any idea the severity of it. But I will tell you, if he's going through what he's going now, and after 5 weeks, 6 weeks, they're saying we'll be evaluated in 2 weeks. It was something a lot more serious than led on to be from the get-go.
Well, we got TRL MTV Spring Break Trivia. Those are the vibes that we're on now that it's
Why can't it be
spring break.
BT?
Why can't it be what?
BET.
Did they have a spring break?
Yeah, they had their own spring break.
What?
Did they?
Yeah.
You may be the only one who watched it.
I'm not.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
What was the thing they had in Atlanta? They used to have in Atlanta? Freaknik.
Yeah. Oh, we
Yeah.
could have televised that though. Could not put that on MTV.
Oh, they were showing videos. There's certain aunties and grandmothers that they want video of them of what they did 25 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Being shown across. Remember,
yeah.
They were gonna do something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and lean into the spring break mood when we come back. A little bit of spring break trivia right here on the Tobin and Leroy Show. Welcome on back to the Tobin and Leroy Show Spring Break Edition.
Well, hello, Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Hey, your shirt almost matches your background.
Yeah, that's true.
What up, JFig?
Got like
I actually ripped a piece of my wall and put it on me.
Oh, she's tough. That's tough.
The wall?
Wearing the wall.
I'm wearing the wall.
Mhm.
JFig, you joined us right in time for our favorite part of the show. I'm sure everyone is just super happy every time I start these games and Tobin is out. We got ourselves some spring break trivia. Today, the topic is going to be MTV Spring Break. Why MTV Spring Break? Because it's in my brain the most popular iconic television moments of spring break. I think
Didn't they used to just go set up shop at it used
Panama.
to be in the Panhandle, right? In Panama.
Panama City.
Well, we'll find
Panama
out.
City. And then they used to just stage it up and have concerts, and they just did a whole week, right?
Yeah.
So essentially what they would do is 1 week out of the year, they would set up shop for 8 hours a day and just
Jeez.
broadcast live. 8
Every
hours
show. Right.
every show, just live, whatever, was going on. And they'd have different events and different concerts. It had a bunch of different iconic moments, which we're going to discuss right now. But is there any way I can get some sort of I don't know, something that would be played during an MTV spring break? I want some sort of music in the background to get everyone in the vibe, everyone in the zone. You guys are going to compete for the prize of my love and affection. So this is something that I know. This is a coveted prize. I don't appreciate you guys laughing.
Your love and affection. Who's fighting for that? Please.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's hurtful, but it's okay. Who needs feelings? We are going to begin our MTV TRL. Well, it's on TRL. I was going to do TRL at first, but I was like, what the hell does TRL have to do with spring break?
All right, let me get a good spring break song, TRL song.
Yeah. Give me something cool, something that'll make me feel like I'm somewhere on a very hot beach in 1990, potentially making some mistakes. There we go. A little bit of bye. All right. You guys ready for question number 1?
Yep.
MTV Spring Break, their annual spring break coverage, began in what year? Now, JFig, I always leave it up to you. You want multiple choice, or you just want to call out?
I want multiple choice.
All right. So MTV began its annual spring break coverage in what year? Is that year 1985, 1991, or 1986?
Who's first?
JFig, I'm gonna go with you first. Is it 1985?
85. What else?
85 and 91 or 86?
I'm gonna go 91.
JFig says 91. Vlad, same question. Annual spring break coverage for MTV.
I'm going 86. For some reason, I think Downtown Julie Brown had something to do with some spring break.
Downtown Julie Brown.
I met her before.
Really?
Oh, nice, right?
Of course you did.
No, because here's what happened.
Were you downtown?
Who's the model that was from down here?
There's a lot of them.
Me.
No. Famous one. I can't
What?
think of
What do you mean by
that? My buddy Matt. Well, he wasn't.
Just so.
He was married to her, and they had twins. Right. I think she ended up with a hockey player, if I'm not mistaken.
Tell me more.
Was
About
Anna
So, no. Wasn't Anna Kournikova. But we went out one time down to South Beach, and he played Arena League football, but they met when he was really young. So that's but the crowd of people that he had access to, because he used to be married to her, was phenomenal. And that's where I came in. So I'm like, let's go to all these clubs. You know what I'm saying?
So there's a chance you were at the MTV Spring Break?
So he was with Downtown Julie Brown.
Oh.
I'm going to
Correct.
start.
Yes.
Wabba.
Yes.
Waka
I'm going to say.
She had some catchy phrase or something like that.
Right.
Waka Flocka.
I'm for reasons I can't explain,
Yes.
I'm gonna say it was 91 because 85 or 86 seemed really early, and MTV had just really, you know what I mean? It sounds weird that that's when they were deciding to put 8 hours of beach content on air.
So both of them went 91. I said 86.
Indeed, the correct answer is 1986.
Really?
1986.
So they did that my first
All
year.
of that to get it wrong, Leroy.
But
Oh.
no, here's why.
Downtown Julie Brown.
Because wait,
That's right, baby. Downtown Julie
wait,
Brown.
think about
That's
this,
right.
Jennifer.
8-year-old Vlad.
That's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That was my first year
Yes,
of college, so I would have been into it even more so, and I don't remember it. Well,
Yeah,
hell,
you
I
were
don't
too
know a whole
busy
lot
on-
of stuff. So
Clearly
Progression in life.
partying too much.
Yep.
All right, you guys ready for question numero dos?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, come on. You are my fire.
Hey, yo.
No, not you personally. I was talking to him, but he gets very
Wow,
upset.
you're insulting him.
very upset.
Yo, by the way,
Yeah.
listen, I'm sorry.
I saw
have to
fire
talk
in his
about this.
eyes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
So yesterday, I go after the show yesterday that Dan and I do. Dan works at Duffy's in Plantation, so I go hang out with my boy for St. Patty's Day, right?
Nice.
So he's DJ there all the time. There's people that's regular that's there. Cool.
Yep.
I don't have any problems with the consonant crew. Okay. I love them. Great. But here's the thing. If you're gonna introduce yourself to me, the first thing you don't got to say you're gay. Okay, cool.
Wow.
I pretty much can tell.
Yeah.
But don't tell me I'm flirty. I'm not.
Oh, you put
I'm not. And then the man
I was not
proceeds-
expecting Dan
and
there.
then the man proceeds to start twerking like in front of my area. And like,
what a nice guy.
Maybe he was getting a vibe from you.
no, and that was the other thing. I was like,
He was
What-
just trying to win
where
your
did I
passion and affection.
give you that vibe? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because
Hey.
I'm not giving you that vibe.
Were you wearing green?
I was wearing green.
Yeah.
It was St. Patty's Day.
So
I was
I
wearing
would say,
pink.
I would
I was
say
wearing
this.
fuchsia.
I'm wearing pink.
I would say this is that that's a different situation. Like, my thing is I don't have a problem with who you are or what you do till it includes me. Then I got to make a decision that I didn't want to have to make, right? So that's where I get up. Like, be you, do you. I think the more happy people, the better this world is, right? If you happy being you, be you. There's more pissed off people that can't be who they want to be. And that's where we get all these issues. So do you. But just Vlad said, but that's where we
Over there.
part ways.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, when you try to get
Sounds
over
like you had a
here.
great time yesterday, Vlad.
I was good chilling with
I
Dan.
think you had a
seeing
great time.
Sabrina. I
Yeah.
love Sabrina.
Sabrina.
I love you,
Yeah.
Sabrina.
All right. Jesus Christ.
Who's Sabrina? What did I
Sabrina, wherever
miss?
you are, watch the hell out, please.
Right.
Wow.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey, what that was
Someone tell me
that
who
was the
Sabrina.
opposite of the cropper.
All right.
Leave
Question
him
number 2.
alone.
You guys can't avoid this smoke anymore. Vlad is running away with the championship.
That's where I was stalling.
Yeah.
MTV Spring Break took place in many locations throughout its illustrious history, including numerous locations throughout Florida.
Correct.
Of the 3 I am about to mention, which one was not a location in which MTV Spring Break took place?
Miami.
Number 1, Daytona Beach.
Okay.
Number 2, Sunny Isles Beach. Number 3, Fort Lauderdale Beach. Which one of these did not host?
Sunny Isles.
Sunny Isles.
Sunny Isles.
Leroy and JFig say Sunny Isles.
I say Fort Lauderdale.
You
No,
say
it happened in Florida. Here, Vlad. When
I-
Andrew hit, they moved to Fort Lauderdale.
I'm just
So
saying.
that's not accurate.
I'm just saying. I don't care.
Well, the correct answer is
Sunny House.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah,
Beach.
Vlad.
Hey,
Yeah,
He's
Vlad.
lying.
hey, that's
Beach.
not
Lying.
true. It was on
Lying.
Fort Lauderdale Beach.
After Fort Lauderdale started discouraging college students from vacationing there for spring break in the mid-1980s, Daytona Beach, Florida Mayor Larry Kelly appeared on national television to encourage college vacationers to come to Daytona Beach for spring break instead. Thus began the very long history of Daytona Beach hosting it. It was also in Panama City. It was also in Miami, Florida as well.
I knew that in Miami, yeah, because Fat Joe performed there.
Okay, but wasn't your question
Sunny
saying
Isles
when
Beach
it
as
wasn't?
well,
That it was never there?
It wasn't in
Yeah, it
Sunny
was
Isles.
never there, but it was also in Sunny Isles Beach as well.
It was in Sunny Isles.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you
when
very
I'm,
much.
here's
No, we're
what I'm
not
thinking.
wrong.
No, you're wrong because he
Nah.
said which beach it never happened in.
Yeah,
It never
he
happened
said
in Fort
Sunny Isles.
Lauderdale.
Yeah,
It did happen. I thought.
Nah,
I
they never
thought-
happened
But
in
you
Fort
know what?
Lauderdale.
When Andrew hit, didn't they move? Okay, let me get this.
You
straight.
twisting your timeline, Leroy.
No, I'm not.
Leroy
No,
twisted
I'm
his
not.
timeline.
No, I'm not. No,
Therefore,
I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm
JFig
not.
followed.
Damn.
Hey,
Somebody,
when it spring
but-
break,
You know
God,
what?
you
I'm
I
excused
first been
here
in a lot of
because
spring
I
break.
was
Wait.
like
When I first moved down
lot of
here,
spring.
one.
when I first moved down here, it was a little bit after Andrew hit, right? And spring break moved to Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Oh, but not
So
MTV.
I thought it
maybe
was right up
wait.
your alley.
Here, let me get this right.
Yep.
That is probably why they couldn't have the MTV thing there.
Oh, because they had something else.
So they
on
had So they had to move further south, hence Sunny Isle. So I
Yep.
know the spring break that was in Panama City moved to Fort Lauderdale in the early 90s after Andrew. That's a fact. So I confused spring break with, because I know Fort Lauderdale was packed.
2-0 Vlad, baby.
2-0 Vlad. You ready for the last question? I'll make this last question worth 3 points.
Yes.
Are you trying to give him a chance to win? This is
Yeah.
horrible.
You know, you gotta give
He's
the
being
people what they want.
fair.
Gotta give the people what they want.
Whenever
Now,
Leroy says I'm saying the opposite, by the way.
yeah, that's probably honestly that's probably best.
Wow.
MTV Spring Break had many iconic performances. Many. Which of these 3 that I'm about to mention, JFig, please pay attention. Which of these 3 that I am about to mention were voted the #1 most iconic spring break performance according to BuzzFeed?
So out of these 3, one was
Yes.
voted #1.
According to BuzzFeed, Wannabe from the Spice Girls during the 1997 MTV Spring Break. Tearing Up My Heart by NSYNC during the 1999 MTV Spring Break.
Oh, this is tough.
Or Big Papa from the notorious B.I.G.
Well, we can tell you right now, it ain't big.
during the 1990.
Yeah, because
MTV.
as Big was, he wasn't pop.
But wait a minute. No, hold on. They're trying to
Okay,
say
what's
which
the
was the best
question
performance.
the most iconic.
Iconic.
Probably NSYNC.
Well, if it was Vlad, it would be big. But I'm gonna go with Spice Girls Wannabe because at that time, Spice Girls were the hottest thing.
Right.
on.
See, and that's
They
the
were
thing.
the hottest thing.
That's the thing. They were the hottest thing. So
I'm gonna go with Spice Girls
banger.
Wannabe.
man. So the thing is, it's hard. It's hard for it to be a
Leroy,
rapper.
Leroy, pick
But
one
even though
and
Big's
I say
performance
the
was
opposite.
Right.
no doubt the best. That's just Brooklyn bias.
But
It's
a little biased.
It's a
but
little
I understand
biased.
that.
But
I'm
I'm gonna
just
go
trying
with,
to figure out
I'm
who
gonna
was
go with,
bigger.
Spice Girls Wannabe.
I'm gonna say this.
They were all huge.
I'm gonna say this.
Yep.
For reasons of
And it's
the
Marco.
beach.
I'm
For
gonna
the
go with Big.
reasons of the beach, right? I'm gonna go NSYNC. Because I think more people
no,
are
don't
reacting.
pick my answer.
I'm going
I'm gonna go
NSYNC.
Spice Girls
Spice
Wannabe.
Girls
But
now.
watch it be Biggie.
Yo, Tearing Up My Heart would have. I'm not gonna lie, that one would have been my selection for sure. If I had a
Wannabe, I'm
choice to
going
hear
for-
anything in MTV, I want to hear some NSYNC. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Now I'm gonna want to hear Wannabe because you know how many girls are gonna be out there.
Yeah,
That's where I want to be.
I want. Hey, that's a point.
That's a point for Vlad. Come on, man.
That's
I need a point for
This guy's
Vlad.
good.
This guy's good.
This guy's good.
I'm good. I'm good.
JFig.
I'm saying Spice Girls. Spice Girls.
Spice Girls want to be okay.
Spice
so,
Girls Wannabe, and
with this selection being the same as Vlad, essentially you have no way of beating Vlad.
No,
Because
but-
if you're right, then whatever.
but she could be ahead of Leroy.
How about
yeah.
stop? This is my choice, okay? Next,
Hey, that's
Leroy,
fine.
what's your choice?
Your selection, and the correct answer is, as voted by BuzzFeed, the #1 most iconic MTV Spring Break performance of all time was baby.
I
Big Papa, the Notorious B.I.G. in 1995.
That's right, BuzzFeed. You were right.
Hey,
BuzzFeed with the.
let me tell you, every time that song came on in the club,
Oh.
everybody put their drink down.
Yeah. Hands in the air. If you don't, come on.
Can I
If
tell
he's a
you
true
guys,
player.
can I tell you a couple honorable mentions?
Go ahead.
Sure.
These are all a couple in the top 10 that I think also could have definitely done some damage. We got Say My Name from Destiny's Child in 99. We got Pony Genuine in 97.
Oh.
We got What a Man, Salt and Pepper 94. That one must have been crazy. And My Name Is by Eminem in 99. Those honestly could have also won, but the winner,
What good times.
Big Papa, Notorious B.I.G. of the Notorious VLAD.
Yes, sir. Brooklyn always.
5 points.
Clearly, Vlad has
Actually, no, only 2 points.
had his
No,
time.
no. At the
At
end,
the
it
beat,
is 2 points, but I said I know you because this is your game. It's BIG.
It's gotta be.
But I'm gonna go with wannabe because I wasn't gonna lose.
That's fair. That is fair. And I tell you what, another
You ever have, Vlad, you ever have some of those artists like you knew they were big, but because you were going through it, you don't realize how big they were?
Yep.
Just like when you talk about NSYNC and the Spice Girls, I don't think people realize how big Biggie was.
It was short. That's why it was short.
Very
Okay.
short.
It was a short, but it was
Because everything,
it was
every time he was on the track, it was must listen.
listen. If you go back, that's why when you're going back that TRL, and if
Yeah.
you look at it, TRL helped big because the
Right.
videos, it was the flashy videos with the shiny suits and everything. Yeah, Spring Break was a great time at that time in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Your video, you get one song, your album's
Plus,
going
keep in
platinum
mind,
immediately.
like we should have thought this. A lot of those New York artists, when they did that, who's the guy who did the show right on in downtown New York? What was that show?
Which one? Which one?
The show that came on with the crowd. They had all the kids and and everybody would be downstairs looking up to the
106 apart and TRL. That's
no,
TRL.
not one. That's TRL.
TRL,
Right.
yeah.
You know what I'm
TRL, when you're
saying?
looking from the screen, yeah.
Right, because a lot of New York artists, because they were right there.
Yeah.
They got
it.
Yeah.
Spring Break. It was a good time. Spring Break now.
You weren't
get
even
5
alive.
points in trivia. Yeah, I was alive. I was chilling.
Barely.
I was like playing with Power Rangers or something like that.
No, I was outside. I was outside during Spring Break.
Yeah, I was like, how are the Red
Hey.
Ranger and the Green Ranger the same? Yeah, it's your boy here holding things down. Glenn, if you're listening, this is Vlad's fault because he won the trivia. We'll be back with more Tobin and Leroy show, Spring Break edition after this. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. Hey, don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still froggy from the block.
El
You're
Tobino.
El Tobino.
El Tobino.
El Tobino.
El Tobino.
Your
Where do
boy
you live?
here-
El Portal.
It's really just the portal. But, you know,
Yeah.
I am holding things down here for Tobin. Tobin is off all week. We're gonna have a weird week. There's gonna be some Dono, some me. Leroy's out Friday. Figgy may show up in person at some point. Maybe we'll let her, you know, just hold things down and do Fig Day. But it is gonna be.
That all depends on, is there air conditioning in this
That is a
studio?
fair assessment. That is a fair assessment.
Because I refuse. It's hot outside.
Hey, it has
Oh,
been.
oh my
It's only
God.
for one day,
Hey,
guys. It'll be back to 80 degrees tomorrow.
It's supposed to cool off a little bit, but
Leroy, can you give us
When?
weather reports, please, from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm? Your accidentattorneys.com. Free
Weather
consultations
report?
24/7 at 866-954.
all right.
More.
I'm looking outside. As you can hear,
Yes.
the roofers are done for the time being.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
We didn't hear no roofing today.
Yeah.
Oh man, last week it was brutal. So looking outside, and I will say this: it's mostly cloudy, quite breezy. I just saw a gust. My tree out here did the lean back, so it's got to be at least, I'm gonna say 10 to 15 miles an hour gusting, maybe a little bit stronger than that.
Leroy, did you just
I'm
see your
gonna say it's
tweet as
about-
the lean back?
Oh yeah, look. When I look outside and it'll be blowing, then all of a sudden they go, and you know I got to take that into account by weather
I'm
because
thinking
you know
of
I got
Fat
a
Joe
sturdy
lean
tree
back.
outside. I got a sturdy tree out here. Now I'm looking outside; it's barely moving. So I'm gonna say, let me check. It's right around 10 miles an hour, gusting to about 15.
Wow.
I'm gonna do that. And it's mostly cloudy, and I'm gonna say it's like gotta be like 84, 85 degrees.
Well, it is
The
indeed.
other
winds.
day,
Wait,
it
let me see
felt
which way.
like
I can't tell which way the wind's blowing, but if it's this hot, I'm guessing it's coming somewhere from the southeast.
What were you saying, Figgy?
it was like on Saturday. I went outside and I immediately ran inside.
Why?
It was hot.
Yeah,
It was
so
really hot.
No,
it was
really
so bad.
It was pretty hot.
You
yeah.
live in Florida. Stop being bougie.
Yeah, but we
Right.
were spoiled.
That's
with
like
the
when it
food.
drops.
Lived here my whole
It's not-
life,
it's
and
like
I
up
refuse
in
to be
Boca.
that hot. Okay.
Yeah. It is currently. What happened?
That's a good one, Sergey.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good. That's a point. That's a point.
That's a point.
That's a point.
Point
The weather
Twitcher.
currently 89 degrees, winds out. there.
89.
Yeah, it's bad, dude. Partly cloudy.
Wow.
Slight chance
Telling
of
you.
wind. Tonight though, it's gonna drop down to 66
Thank
tomorrow.
God. It's going to be like 79.
I'm telling
right?
you.
Yeah,
I'm
tomorrow
telling you.
76, 58.
It's
Good,
cloudy.
good.
So let me ask you this. The winds are coming out of the east, southeast, right? And then later on in the day, it's going to turn and come out of the north.
Yeah, right now it's out of the southwest, actually.
Southwest. Okay.
Tonight it'll be out of the west and northwest, according to.
Well, that should have been, I should have guessed that. You want me to tell you why? Let me show you how it works.
All
When I
right.
look outside,
Yep.
I usually look outside during the course of the show, right?
Mhm.
If I see planes over my house, the winds are coming out of the east, right?
Yeah.
If I don't, usually I say they're coming out of the west because they come out over the Atlantic. So I haven't seen planes, so that's my bad. I didn't use my own, but I'm just looking at this heat, thinking that usually when it's a heat, it comes out of the southeast. So it's gonna turn and start coming out of the north if it's cooling off. Because again, as I tell you, Florida people, right? Cold air doesn't come from the south.
Nope. That is why you can go to the Keys year round and not have to worry about nothing. Close to the equator. That's what we say in the science field that I'm in. Not
Really?
sure if you guys are aware of that.
Hey,
El
Why
Tobino.
is-
Hey, El Tobino, stop while you ahead.
We got
Right.
a few other giveaways on the show. First of all, Sting is coming to the Fillmore
Is
Miami
it-
Beach.
Is it
Not the wrestler.
Not the wrestler.
No, is it
He just retired.
Is it Sting or is it? Because I remember they did
Ain't the police.
a couple.
Police is not joining.
No
Sting.
police.
No
Okay,
police.
it's just Sting.
Yes.
Just Sting.
It is
Because
just
I
Sting.
tell you what, he blew up when he like soon as he left the police and then went solo. Those first 2 albums were hot. Then like
I don't really know who anybody else in the police actually. So, Sting will be in Miami Beach in October.
he's got to be
With
pretty
the-
old, right?
With the what?
He's got to be pretty old.
Oh, he's like
definitely got to be old.
He's definitely like almost
For
pushing
sure.
70.
Still milking
Right.
it. I wonder how much those tickets are, but it doesn't matter how much those tickets are if
We giving them away.
you continue to listen to this show, as we got a chance for you to win tickets. To enter, just text the word Sting, STING, to 20357.
You know, one of my favorite songs was from Sting, from Police,
Which one?
Synchronicity.
Wow.
I like that one.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
Good song.
Here's the problem.
Never heard it.
You don't make part 2.
Oh, he
I
made a
don't know
part
what
2.
the hell that was. Yeah, and it's nothing like the original song.
Yeah, sometimes you get lazy with
I'm
the
not a
titles.
big fan of part 2s of songs.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh yeah, here we go.
This is part 2.
This is part 2.
No, part 2 is the best one. Part 1 is garbage.
Wait, so you like Synchronicity part 1? 2.
Part 2,
Part
but
two.
not 1. I got them mixed up.
Oh, okay. Leroy, you've been getting a lot of stuff mixed up, man. Since
No,
He's
not-
old.
His timelines.
It's been a while.
his
Hey,
timelines are
can I just
not-
say this? It's been a while since I played me some Police.
Yeah,
Right?
Don't want to
So-
play with the police.
can't play with the popo. But okay, this is my last little business to get out of the way. Other than Sting, we do have a chance to see your Marlins. We were giving away, and that's going to be this show. Before this show is over, we're giving away a 4-pack of tickets to Marlins opening day. Your biggest Marlins fans.
Isn't
We're
that
giving-
Thursday? No, next Thursday.
It's
Sorry.
next Thursday.
Yes.
Next Thursday.
We're giving you a
So
chance
you gonna
to see
have
the
family in
Marlins.
town. Family gonna come into town for Easter,
Yep.
right?
nice.
It's spring
Yep.
break. Y'all
Perfect.
need to get up on these tickets. It should be a full house for opening day.
Aren't we
Agreed.
doing opening day?
We are indeed. We'll be
We
broadcasting.
are. We'll be there.
I'll be there.
Can
Nice.
I throw first
We're
pitch?
there.
I was there last time. That's
Really?
why I'm just
The
gonna join
secret
you
bar.
guys.
Secret
Hold on.
bar.
Oh, you already
Secret bar.
know the secret
dude.
bar.
Hey. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
buddy.
secret bar. The
We'll
secret
see
bar.
you there,
Hey,
Vlad.
excuse me.
with the great employees.
Big, I think we're gonna be out of there.
What you mean?
What?
You
We're
talking
gonna
about
be
a
out of
dugout?
there before
You
the
talking
game
about a
starts.
dugout?
Out of there before the game starts. No way.
We
sir.
were there when the game started.
Yeah, remember you guys had lunch and then you
No,
guys
but I'm
had
saying-
time
I'm-
together without me. What?
No, I'm saying, oh, we
That's
stayed
about-
last.
You came late,
Yes,
sir.
we did. We came to remember we went to the secret bar, Leroy. He was just
Oh,
so
I know.
mesmerized.
Secret
Look,
bar.
his timeline is just
I
all
still have
over
the
the
picture of
place
the
today.
secret bar.
Yeah, listen, man.
He
You're in
is
concussion
just-
protocol, dude. That
Hey,
golf ball did more
I might-
damage than you think.
that golf ball hit me on the head.
It's so.
Yeah,
I told you
just
to go
thought,
look.
hey,
You go check it
I
out.
did hear some good news today
What'd you hear?
when I went to, had to go get this cough check because I've been coughing for like
Oh,
a month. So
Yeah,
I'm
what
like,
is
you know what? Let me go get checked. It's post-nasal drip, which she gave me some stuff. I'm not cool on, I got to squirt the stuff in my nose. I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah.
But she gave me some other stuff too. But she said, you don't have COVID,
nice.
but she said it's probably your blood type because people who have type O don't get COVID as much as other people.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
a cheater.
I'm a
All right.
cheater. I didn't decide. Dude, I didn't decide what the hell my blood was going to be.
Oh, everyone does, bro. You come out, it's like one of the first questions they ask.
With your blood type. Can you know something?
I'm more of a Suwu.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
Women know more about that than dudes. Because
Well,
they
I
asked me what my blood type was. I had to go get a test because I had no idea.
We were talking about the Tyler Herro situation with the platelets and stuff like that he was dealing with. I had a brief stint in one of my 132 jobs where I worked for the blood centers of South Florida. So I'm very familiar with what kind of blood type I was. I was surprised that I was A positive because it's like the highest grade I've ever received. So it's like, how is that possible?
The highest grade.
Tobin's blood type is gravy.
Oh my God.
Actually, they
That's
thought
what-
that it was your blood type.
I know. I just passed that on to Tobin.
Yeah, he just
Wow.
passed it on.
You if you take it up, put it down, and nobody acknowledge it, I'm going.
Yep.
I'm rolling with it.
One more thing before we go to break here. We have Inter Miami. Time for an Inter Miami update sponsored by Kettle One Vodka made to cocktail. We have an MLS matchup because Messi wanted to take another game off.
Yeah, you're really down on everyone, aren't you? Yeah, what's going on with you, man?
No, I get it. You got to rest for the CONCACAF. I get it. I'm not hating too much.
He got hurt, dude.
Yeah, a little. I mean, that happens when you're 40 and stealing money.
And
But
playing soccer all year round.
But Luis Suarez stepped in and got a brace. Do you guys know what a brace is?
No.
That's like not a hat trick, which is 3 goals. A brace is 2 goals.
And we have these goals.
Yeah, there you go.
Campana, Suarez!
Ooh. Oh.
It's a race to the finish line, and El Pistolero gets there first.
El Pistolero.
End to end.
Hey.
A loose ball in the 6 on one end, and United can't score. A loose ball in the 6 on the other, and Miami does. Inter Miami 2, D.C. United 1, with less than 20 minutes left to go.
He's clutch.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
That announcer got some vocals, right?
Yeah.
He ain't lose his voice when he got to the end of that Suarez. He sounded like he had a lot of mo. I got a lot of mo. Hey,
El Pistolero.
You mind playing that so we all could hear it?
Oh, you couldn't hear that one?
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate. The Twitch audience couldn't hear it. Vlad, can you get it one more time with 3 selected so they can hear El Pistolero?
Inter Miami gave up the first goal, came from behind to tie it, took the lead, and now stolen away. Cutting back is Gomez, squares for Suarez, settles back to his right foot, now to his left, can't get the shot away, curls it up, touched by Bono, but he can't keep it out. He just delays the inevitable, and El Pistolero swings it home for 3.
Wow.
They called you El Pistolero.
Pastelito. Dude, hey, you can't even talk on this show without somebody in there.
That was pretty good.
That's
But
funny.
which pastelito?
Yeah, I'm
Suarez.
guava and cheese.
You're not
Suarez?
like you're like Gardner one that no one really likes.
Ooh, hey,
I don't like meat and pastries.
It's not.
yeah,
because
no,
it's
apparently
sweet.
no one else does.
Right. No, and I don't like guava.
All right, well, I'm
That's the
offended.
best one. That is the best
No,
one.
no. I like
when we
green
come
teas
back-
though.
When we come back, we got a pretty quick edition of All Right, Oh No. I kind of feel like a lot of it is going to be surrounded by one topic, but we'll decide
It's
when
gonna
we
be
come back.
It's the pause edition.
Yeah, I mean we got it's here. This is gonna be unison.
Yeah, I think all of us
All right, and oh no, it's
I
gonna
mean,
be the same thing.
that was the highlight, right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
right. So we just show the picture and talk about it. That's it.
We'll talk
Oh,
about
the
it when we come
picture.
back.
Oh, we
Right
can't show it?
here. We got a video, baby.
It's jerseys.
Just,
We-
just last
kidding.
names. Hey, let's be mature about it. Just last names.
Kidding.
We got video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
Ooh.
we got from the news.
Yeah, legal, whatever the legal outlet is, we use that one. That one
All right.
for sure.
I
We
hope
will
it's,
run all the legal ways to do it because
EBC.
wow. More when we come back on the Tobin and Leroy show. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show right here on 560 WQAM. Time now for our favorite time of our Monday. All right. Oh, no. That's where we go around. We give everyone an opportunity to detail their all right and oh no for their weekend. One positive thing, one negative thing. But I think this one is overwhelming. In a time of professional sports and the development of sportsmanship, the jersey swap has swept through all of professional sports. We saw it a lot during Wade's final season. People were dying to get the coveted 3 with the Miami Heat logo on it. It happens a lot. We've seen jersey swaps. We've seen awkward moments. We've seen our quarterback lose in frozen temperatures, and instead of worrying about his season being over, asking Patrick Mahomes for a jersey. We've seen bizarre things in regards
that bothered you,
to jersey swaps. I mean, like, why would you ask for his jersey?
Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Seriously, just go.
He wanted a jersey of the GOAT. That's all.
Thank you for beating me. Anyway, this weekend occurred a jersey swap that
this is the swap of all swaps
will remain atop of all of our brains.
Hey, yo.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment there. Vlad, please bring this up for me. This is a jersey swap between 2 unlikely characters. If you're unfamiliar with these people, don't take it any way personally. One of them is popular for wearing a bright red Dorothy suit during the draft process, and the other one I've actually never even heard of before. A jersey swap that took place this weekend between none other than Grady Dick and Orlando Magic's Anthony Black. As you can assume, this is something that was, I don't know, in my opinion, planned, but one of the most hilariously unfortunate moments during this entire weekend. This is what it looked like. Vlad, if you can play this video of the jersey swap between the two, you see them making sure that they're in the correct positions, by the way. Grady Dick hands his white jersey over to this Orlando Magic player here, Anthony Black. They get in a specific formation for some reason. Don't know why.
Anthony Black was
for some
before
reason.
Grady Dick.
Yeah,
indeed. They were positioned away in that.
Needless to say,
so
neither one of them.
Anthony's last name is Black, and Grady's last name is Dick.
Right.
Indeed, and as you can see from here,
I love how you have to specify all of that.
And you know what's crazy?
Yes,
they couldn't be more whiter.
Now, okay, this is the intangibles of all intangibles.
Oh yeah,
right. And at least the one guy. First of all, Grady Dick is the only person I've ever seen that's whiter than JFig. Right?
Wow, minus one.
At least
he is
at
white.
least the other kid has a tan.
He needs to be tan just to be considered white.
Yes.
That's how white he is. He needs to be tan just to be considered white.
Can I ask what their stats? I need to know what the hell their stats were for that game.
Well, wasn't Grady Dick a first rounder?
Yeah, no, Grady Dick definitely has a little bit more cachet to his name, if you will, but he put up a whopping 2. This is Anthony Black's stat line against the Raptors. This Magic guard played for 3 minutes, had 2 points, 1 steal. Following the game was like, yeah, I need to do a jersey swap after that performance. Grady Dick, on the other hand, a little bit more play. He had a little bit more play for Grady.
So they hold in Black Dick jerseys.
Indeed, they have Black, Anthony, and Dick, Grady, right next to each other for this lovely picture.
A Magic Raptor.
Specification, we know.
Gotta let you know that there is Black Anthony, his jersey swap,
and there's a Grady Dick,
indeed,
with a Raptor jersey swap.
Oh my goodness!
So now it does bring up some interesting points now.
Yeah.
What are
love
some
how
good
they
jerseys?
really
What are
tried
some
to keep their
interesting
composure.
jersey swaps, Leroy? That would have been some funny, interesting.
That takes the cake. I can't even.
No.
Could've been
There is
worse.
one that should have happened a long time ago.
You think so?
Yes, in Minnesota and Memphis.
What's that?
Rudy Gay and Kevin Love.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Oh,
Be a good one. That would be
all
a good
right.
one.
Yeah.
I think Grady Dick and Kevin Love can come up with a good one as well. That'd be
I
pretty
think Grady Dick and Rudy Gay would be an interesting one as
good.
well.
Yeah.
All right, we've had enough of that.
Oh, go to this full
What
segment.
about Kevin
really.
Love and Trey? Young Love. I love Young Love. You know, something sweet and
No.
innocent.
Like your
I don't know if
shirt?
Michael Jackson
Like your
likes that,
shirt?
but that's
Yeah.
Well, look, crazy things go down in the NBA the same way crazy things go down at the Live Golf Tournament. Leroy, can you tell us more about that?
Golf's boldest league is coming back to Miami from Friday, April 5th through Sunday, April 7th. And now's your chance to be there. Catch Live Golf at Doral Blue Monster and see John Rahm, Brooks Koepka, and Dustin Johnson take on one of the world's most fearsome golf courses. With live DJs and a euphoric headline concert, tickets are selling fast, so grab yours now at livegolf.com. That's livegolf.com.
Family 4-pack of Marlins tickets right now. Caller number 2 for Jazz Chisholm. If you want an opportunity to go out to opening day, you can see the Marlins versus the Pirates, and you can see the Tobin Leroy show, who will be walking around at our secret bar. That and much more. Marlins opening day, family 4-pack of tickets. Caller number 2 right now. We got Brady Hawk on the other side. Tobin and Leroy show.